The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people! And welcome to our spooky humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sports Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. This program starts now. Football! It is awesome, and week 8 of the NFL season wrapped up last night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as the Pittsburgh Steelers cover and win by 8 over the New York Football Giants. We'll be joined by former Penn State All-Big Ten tight end and current Pittsburgh Steelers tight end, Pat Freiermuth. In about 10 minutes, obviously they're going into a bye. We'll chit-chat with him about how the Steelers feel after a massive dub last night. And I'll tell you what, Giants were in it till the very end. Mm-hmm. Now, there's obviously going to be drama around the Giants because of what Daboll said afterwards, what happened with Daniel Jones. We'll break that down in a matter of moments. But if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you watch Russell Wilson play on that field, you think to yourself, I don't know if you're going to win a Super Bowl, but we can do some damage with this particular team.
Oh, yeah?
They can move the rock a little bit. Russell Wilson's dropping dimes. Players are making plays. Van Jefferson's come out of nowhere. We need a number 2 wide receiver. Well, Van Jefferson will step up. A 6'7" tight end, Darnell Washington out of Georgia, has been getting the rock in the past couple weeks. And Coach Fredo, who we had in Indianapolis, is the tight end coach over there. He's a dog of a man. He's been around the NFL for a very, very long time, player and coach. He says, listen, we got a guy who's 6'7". Let's make him tackle him. Then Pat Freiermuth, another tight end, he gets in on the action. Russell Wilson is utilizing everybody. Najee Harris looks like a brand new running back. Yeah. He's running fast, he's running hard, he's running quick. Big catches are happening. There's explosive plays. Holy hell! Are the Pittsburgh Steelers about to go on a run?
It might be.
Now, we will certainly ask a Pittsburgh Steelers diehard fan in Stefon Diggs here in a matter of moments. But watching that Monday Night Football game in the city of Pittsburgh showing up in the terrible towels, obviously in abundance, and Joey Porter Sr. coming out and leading the wave, and Cam Hayward having a historic defensive evening for his 202nd start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, that's a lot of defensive football over there. So, historic night, legendary evening in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers have a team that can really go. Russell Wilson, what he's been able to do versus Justin Fields. I got some Hembo stats.
Ooh, here we go.
I got some Hembo stats that just got sent over literally before the program, so I didn't get a chance to get them onto a graphic. You know, our graphics department is phenomenal here. Oh, yeah. Targeting George Pickens, Russell Wilson is averaging 13.2 yards per attempt and 20.6 yards per completion. That's with the yak, obviously. Justin Fields, 8.3 yards attempt, 13.8 yards per completion. Okay, now that was earlier in the year. Artie Smith's offense is brand new to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so everybody was learning the offense, including, Justin Fields and everybody else, George Pickens as well. So maybe a little bit different story. Using play action, Russell Wilson passed for 157 yards against the Jets and 118 yards against the Giants. Have to have Najee run well.
Yes.
If you're going to use play action, you got to be able to do that. Justin Fields averaged 42.5 pass yards per game using play action. And his starts now was the run game going as much as it's going now. Play action, obviously vastly different. So every stat has a story.
Yep.
You got to talk about it. But Russell Wilson has seemingly made the Steelers much better. And then Steelers under center, percentage by starter, Russell Wilson, 56% of the plays. Under center, Najee gets a chance to,
Yeah.
Justin Fields was only 42% of the plays.
Okay.
A little bit different. And then yards per drop back under center that you gain, Russell Wilson 12.1, Justin Fields 4.3. So everything looks better offensively with Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson and Justin Fields having a good time on the sideline.
Love to see it.
They're friends. They're getting along. I think this is a great outcome for the situation that the Steelers put themselves in whenever they bring in both of these guys. One for a trade from Chicago and Justin Fields. Russell Wilson, you sign him, only pay him $1 million. You let Denver Broncos pay him the other $40 million that he's owed this year. And a lot of people say, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to handle it? Justin Fields gets in there because Russell Wilson trains his calf in a conditioning workout before training camp even starts. He starts winning games, starts winning over the city, starts winning over the team. A lot of people saying this guy can do things with his legs that nobody else can do. This guy's a playmaker. He's beloved.
Yep.
Mike Tomlin had to make the decision. You know, the enemy of good is great. We're looking to be great. We're good right now. I have to see what I have with Russ. It's working out. Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. You're a diehard Steelers fan. When you watch that game last night, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Coach Tomlin couldn't have been more right. And I tweeted this, I think it was the second quarter after they had gone just down the field easily 3 straight times. Now they got bogged down in the red zone 3 times, a couple penalties here and there. But Justin Fields was good, okay? 4-2. But when you watched it and when they were 4-2, and we always talk about it in here, it's like, yeah, we watch it and they're winning, but we know in the back of our heads.
Can't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, not going to win a Super Bowl. Probably not going to win a playoff game. But then last night, like watching it with Russ, it's like he has just unlocked this offense. And you talk about how good Najee has been. Najee's got 3 straight 100-yard games, but the last 2 with Russ.
Whoa. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
3 straight 100-yard
They
games.
were not singing that tune about Najee Harris. Obviously,
Not at all,
highly acclaimed coming out of Alabama. Everybody thought he was going to be a game changer. This is the next version of the bus, Jerome Bettis. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's agile, he can catch, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Was it the offensive line? Was it the offensive coordinator? Was it him? Was it all that? Whatever the case. Now, 3 straight 100-yard games. It's always there. Always there. Congrats to Naj.
And there was another stat. It wasn't from Hembo. I saw it on the internet. Just like the amount of 8 and 9-man boxes that Naj is not seeing the last 2 games versus the 6 games that he saw with Justin Fields, because defenses do have to respect Russell Wilson and his deep ball. And you talk about his relationship with George Pickens and how good they have been. George also has had like 300 yards called back just on penalties and stuff like that.
Well, and 2 foots. We learned last night that 2 foots do not equal both feet.
Yeah, which
Bullshit.
And Jason Kelsey theorized at halftime, he said, so he puts his right foot down twice on this. Look at this. Almost more athletic to be able to bump. Left foot never touches the ground.
Crazy.
Ass cheeks outside. 1 ass equals 2 feet.
right.
1 elbow equals 2 feet. 2 foots do not equal 2 feet.
Nope.
Need both feet is what the rule book says. So this gets taken back. I think it would have been first TUD. A lot of people obviously not thrilled about that.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other multiple touchdowns potentially that got thrown out because of this particular happening. But George Pickens over the last couple weeks has been must watch with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's awesome. So, like, the whole offense has completely opened up. Like, Naj, GP, Freiermuth, who we talk about, Darnell Washington, like, everybody. Like, Calvin Austin last night had his coming out party pretty much. Van Jefferson's been, ever since, this is all since Russ has been back. Like, it's been unbelievable. Artie's got his full playbook at display now. Like, they are doing, Artie Smith, offensive coordinator, sorry, that's on me. So everything looks great. The O-line is very, very banged up, and they're, like, even with that, the amount of 237 yards in the first half last night. Artie Smith has 3 400-yard games as the offense coordinator for the Steelers. Matt Canada didn't do that one time in 44 games as the offensive coordinator in the last, I don't know, whatever, 3 years it was.
So
Different team.
So what are you saying?
I believe it. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is
What happened to that defense though last
okay.
night?
Yeah. They
What's going on? Danny Dimes is making all the big-time plays that he needs to make. 3rd down multiple times, 4th quarter, 3rd and 16. I think he hit one time on a pass.
Yeah.
I think there was other third downs that they were picking up in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
in the 4th quarter.
When we went up,
Making
when we went
plays.
up, whatever it was, 23-9 or whatever. And we're like, oh, Renegade comes on. Okay.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the Lord. All of the law. They're twirling those dials.
Renegade's on. The place is
Oh, my
going
God,
nuts.
they're twirling it.
Someone's
Let's
got
shut
the
this.
flag.
Let's shut this thing down. You get 3rd and 16, right at the sticks. They make a catch. 2 plays later, they're down the field, and then there's a 47-yard rushing touchdown, and we're right back in. So the defense, yes, pissed me off a little bit last night because we had to stay up late because it came down. They had 2 chances on game-winning drives. But before I said, yes, they pissed me off last night. The defense, though, they are number 2 in points, number 9 in yards, 11th on 3rd down, number 2 in the red zone, number 4 versus the run, and 4th in takeaways. So they've been great. Okay, but
Pretty good.
To win Super Bowl.
I'll get it done.
last night they pissed me off a bit, but guess who showed up? Like, he shows up every single game, clutch situations.
Not who, where, when, or how, but
Wade!
yeah.
TJ Watt, Illuminor said, hey, leave me singled up against him. I'll handle him. Or not. Okay? Strip, sack, fumble. Ball game. Should have been ball game. They got the ball back again. But no, like this full team, the special teams is awesome. Danny Smith, vote early. Vote or die. Vote often. Danny Smith for president. I feel pretty good. 6-2 going in the bye. First in the AFC North. Yeah, feeling pretty good.
Trade Danny Smith. You mean Chris? Trade deadline day is coming up next Tuesday. One week from the
I don't want to die.
I think you should vote. I think you should write in Danny Smith for president of the United States.
Last 5 games, Pittsburgh Steelers special teams obviously has a punt return touchdown last night. It should have been called back, obviously, for running into a punter.
Yeah,
clearly.
Well,
I mean, one of the clearest I've ever seen. And even if he didn't touch him, it's like you got to give him a place to land. Like that's a part of the.
We got to put a pillow down for him now.
Okay, it is just the rule. It is the rules. But with that being said, still an incredible return. And Danny Smith continues a hot streak. I think they have a blocked field goal, blocked punt, blocked something, perfect on field goals, and now a punt return touchdown. It's like that's in the last 5 games. So special teams is obviously dominant. Defense is going to be dominant whenever. And the offense is all of a sudden looking like, hey, we should stay up and watch this thing. Because you got to remember, for about 10 years, Pittsburgh Steelers offense has just been Iowa Hawkeye football.
That's right.
That is what has it been. It has just been no explosion, none of that. And now it's like fun. Now on the other side of the ball, 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, which will be broadcasting later today. Yeah. Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes,
D-Butch, big takeaways from last night. You can obviously talk Steelers, anything we missed, but also for the Giants.
Everything Tone hit on with Russ and this offense, the trajectory on this pass, and obviously Bill came on yesterday and talked about his deep ball, but just knowing the different trajectories, the receivers are able to adjust and catch the ball. He looked absolutely great. Danny Dimes on the other side, he didn't look bad. He made some big throws, big throws to Slayton. Obviously, we know big throws to Malik Neighbors, who's an absolute weapon. Think he needs to clean up the drops a little bit. And then it always comes down to the last play with Danny Dimes, the overthrow to the interception. And then we know T.J. Watt, who you cannot leave one-on-one, especially in high-pressure situations. Now, watching the game, I didn't know who that was on. Post-game, pretty quickly, we kind of figured it out. We can get to the clip of Dayball kind of maybe covering his own ass here after the game.
On the chip play, are you saying Daniel didn't make the right check, or are you saying it didn't get communicated?
It wasn't a check. He was going, pressure situation was a clock. We had a shift with the tight end to get back over to Watt, and we didn't get the shift. So we talked about it. In the locker room. DJ feels terrible. To be honest with you. I know he's going to
let him know.
He came up here to say he owned it. There was a shift that was accompanying the play.
It's part of the play.
He was kind of surveying the coverage, deciding what he wanted to do, and we didn't get the shift.
I forgot. You ever forget?
And they were lining up with him in different. Sometimes they were lining up with him to the left a little bit more than a half. So we were making sure that if we put a chipper there, that he didn't line up opposite, so we were shifting to try to get the help where we needed to get the help.
Yeah, the guy who won the game, we knew that. Yeah.
What did you?
It wasn't a check, actually. It was actually just part of the play.
Part of it.
We added it in the game because they started moving TJ to the other side, and we said, hey, if you ever see TJ on the other side, part of the play now. Just slide something over. That's probably what took place, right?
Absolutely. Definitely what took place. And, a lot of times in that situation, coaches say, got to go watch the tape. We'll clean things up. Everybody makes mistakes. But he definitely wanted to make it clear that, hey, the plan was to block 90. I mean, Highsmith, he had 2 as well. But then when it comes down to that last interception, wasn't really any pressure in Danny's face. Just kind of threw it off his back foot over Singletary's head. And the Beanie Bishop, who called game
Where's he going to school? Where'd Beanie Bishop go to school?
West Virginia.
Oh!
Third interception. I think the second ever undrafted free agent. Was it Herm Edwards, I think?
Tony
Dungy, I'm sorry. To get his third.
What was that all about?
Coaches, DVs, black guys. What kind of guys?
Good Lord.
Whoa.
Can't have that happen.
Oh, my.
All right. I guess.
Thank God
It's on you, brother.
Jeez Louise. Anyways,
shout out to Beanie Bishop Jr.
Shout out to Beanie Bishop Jr. and shout out to West Virginia creating more NFL stars every single day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of a school that creates NFL stars, Penn State. Okay, listen, this weekend, College Game Days headed up to State College, Happy Valley for a massive noon game that I know everybody in Penn State's all jacked up about.
Yes, they are.
Now, obviously, Ohio State coming to town, everybody's going to want to show up and show out. But I think there is a sense maybe up there of night game.
Yeah.
Whiteout.
Whiteout.
Need it.
We are Penn State.
110,000, whatever it is, all going crazy. Well, it turns out that game's at noon now, so we don't have the whole.
Still cool.
Still cool.
Still can do the whole song and dance.
Yeah, but can't do the whole song and dance.
No.
Yeah, you can do some of the song and dance.
Yeah, some song.
Can't. So I think they're a little bit like, hey, it's a top 5 rival or top 5 matchup.
Yeah.
Massive rivalry here. Okay, and we can't even put on our full show. But obviously, Texas A&M gets a chance to showcase their whole entire thing. Alabama gets a chance to showcase everything they got going. Tennessee obviously has what they're.
Crushed.
We don't get to do that because our game's at noon. But nonetheless, that school has created a lot of greats, a lot of legends, and there's one of them currently playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, fresh off a dub on Monday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, tight end Pat Freiermuth. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey, congrats on a big win last night. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Big time.
Stefon Diggs just went on a full run. Obviously, you know him. He is dramatic and ridiculous, but in this particular case, he felt pretty calm and cool. Feels like this is a team now with how the offense is operating, with what the defense obviously is, and special teams with Danny Smith doing that can go on a run and do some magical things. Do you guys feel that in that locker room, and have you felt that all year?
Yeah, we feel good. Our goal was after we lost 2 in a row to get to 6-2 at the bye. We very confident right now. We're firing on all cylinders, playing very complimentary team football, and Danny Smith has those boys rolling on special teams. Man, he's got them rolling, so we're feeling good.
How's Danny feeling? Is his shoulder okay? I heard he can't lift up his arms to say a field goal is good, but he can certainly celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, he's feeling good. He's in there rehabbing sometimes in the training room with us, so he's feeling good.
Let's make sure we're getting him some Toradol shots.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure we're getting Danny some Toradol shots. We need him all year. What an absolute legend. Last night, punt return, Austin doing his thing. Let's talk about your role in the offense with Russell Wilson. Feels like the offense has been unlocked a bit over the last few weeks. Why do you think that's the case, and what have you seen from Russell as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think Russ has done great. He's come in and he's been a hell of a leader for us. He's pushing the ball downfield without putting in harm's way, which we preach about, and he's helping us make explosives. I think he's putting the ball in situations where we can go make plays as playmakers without putting the ball in harm's way, like I said. So he's been awesome. Great in the huddle. He's been good.
Has he given any sweet speeches yet? Because I've seen some mic'd ups where he's actually said to people like, hey, clear eyes, full hearts, we can make this comeback. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know that happened in real life. Yeah. He's like, he seemingly is always on, though, right? Is that accurate of Russell Wilson?
Yeah, he's always on, man. Like he's never gonna let you, experience the waves of adversity through a game. He's always gonna make sure you're on go. And yeah, he's definitely got a lot to say in the huddle for sure.
What was it like balancing during the when Justin Fields was playing and then Russell Wilson conversation was taking place? Pittsburgh, everything that happens with the Steelers, people are going to talk about, let alone in Pittsburgh, but nationally, especially when Russell Wilson is involved in it. Was there any behind-the-scenes stuff that changed after Russell becomes the starter, or what we saw last night between Russ and Justin kind of status quo behind the scenes as well?
Yeah, honestly, not really. I think Coach T's done a great job, of guiding the team through, his process and what his thinking was. Credit, it really couldn't happen without Justin and Russ and their mentality. When Russ was hurt and he wasn't able to go, he really helped Justin in the offense stay on track, tell us what he's seeing, helping us out. And then vice versa, when Russ got the start, Justin's in there every single day working hard, continuing his routine, being there for everyone on the sideline. So credit to those two. I mean, that's a tough situation for any team to go through. But credit to them for allowing us to, keep going forward with it.
We try to talk about the complexities of it all, especially in the football world, about a quarterback. Like a quarterback it's different. Like that position is just different, which is why when you tap out of that position, it is a different conversation than everywhere else. We don't have to get into it. Yes, you're a football. You understand. You heard it, and I assume you were flabbergasted as everybody else. Young, he's going to learn. But the quarterback position is different. It is very different. So whenever there's two of them potentially, and Coach Tomlin knew that, I assume. So the fact that he was as transparent, his leadership through it all is obviously... I mean, you guys' locker room always tight, isn't it? Doesn't it feel like the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers is always going to be tight, whether you end up winning a Super Bowl or a playoff? Your team's always tight. Is that because the culture that's there, or why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think, like you said, the culture. I think Coach T has done a great job ever since I've been there. This is my 4th year. Just everyone understands the goal of each week, the goal of playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The expectations that come with that, the pride that comes with that. So he's done a really good job. And honestly, credit to Cam Hayward, TJ, Minka, like those guys that's been here for a while, been our vets, really helping the young guys learn about the Steeler way. All the greats that have come in this organization. So every time we go out on that field. Even practice, Coach T, kind of motivates you to run through a brick wall like every practice. So, credit to him.
Yeah, Palamalu really,
Did it.
he took some real happiness and joy from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Truly.
I grew up in Pittsburgh during the Palamalu era.
Sure.
So obviously a lot of happiness and joy was delivered from Palamalu.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But on the opposite, you don't think about the other side of the field, do you ever? When you're in Pittsburgh.
Well,
And then all of a sudden you are on the opposite side of the field. And you're supposed to score a touchdown. And then his ass just does what he's been doing since he started playing football, and he ruins your life in front of your family.
yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
Messed up.
But don't.
Nobody talks about that. Anyways, there's something else that hasn't been brought up, I don't think, even last night during the broadcast. Go ahead, D-Butch.
Yeah, Pat, you guys you just talked about being tight. How pissed were you not being able to play on National Tight End Day? Like, I mean, the branding,
come on.
the branding and
man.
everything that you guys have been able to do as a position group has been great. Is there like a group chat yesterday? It's like, hey, we all gonna go off today, or Sunday, we all gonna go off today. And how pissed were you about not being able to play on Sunday? Everybody loves Monday night, but how pissed?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am fortunate. I wanted to get on the holiday action. The tight ends were eating. I think it was like the most receptions, touchdowns, all that for NFL Sunday. But definitely pissed off that it wasn't even part of it. But happy that was able to kind of get the limelight on Monday Night Football after the holiday. So it's all good. But there's no group chat. No group chat.
No group chat?
Now, whoa. I thought you guys were tight. Wait a second. Tight ends don't like each other.
Okay.
Oh, wait. We having the right holiday. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my God.
Hey, there could be, but I'm not in it, so we'll see.
Oh, no. You got to earn
Bullshit.
it. You got to earn it, Bob.
I gotta earn it.
Guy got a new deal, too.
Yeah,
He's very rich. Can't buy his way into the group chat. What's that all about?
don't love that.
You've earned multiple commas all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But can't earn way into the group text. Oh, my God.
I don't like it.
Kelsey's a little too busy these days, isn't he?
Oh.
Okay.
Tony.
That is not.
The hell?
Speaking of tight ends, though, it's unbelievable you're not on the group text. I do not like that.
Yeah.
We are not calling George Kittle right now to ask him.
Yeah, should we try and sell?
We are not. Call Greg. Maybe call Greg Olson and see what the hell's going on out here.
Yes.
Why do you think I don't want to say, I don't know. I haven't done enough history on the tight end position. I guess I probably should. The resurgence of the position, though, seemingly, over the last decade or so, is it the rules changes? Is it different athletes deciding to be tight ends? Why do you think the tight end position has become so valuable to every offense?
Yeah, I think it's just if you can get a good athlete at tight end, it's hard for a linebacker or safety to match up with them in man coverage or zone or whatever. So if you can get a tight end that can exploit the middle of the field matchups, it really opens up the playbook because they can't just guard the sidelines. They can't just play the run. You got a tight end that can, go vertical up the seams and really create mismatches inside. So, and there's a lot of guys doing that right now in the NFL. So that's probably why for sure.
How's your blocking? You've always been a good blocker or no?
I've been struggling. I struggled in the past, but I think I've already shout out Artie Smith for kind of bringing me in and putting me in situations where I can be successful at it. So really appreciative of him and putting me in situations where I can succeed.
On that note, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Pat, it was about a year ago to the day that it was Halloween last year, and I dressed up as the devil. A lot of people thought I was dressing up as a former OC of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wasn't. It was just the devil.
It was bad for Muth. It was bad.
Messed up.
It was bad.
I'm not gonna put you in a spot, but you just talked about Artie putting you in good spots. How has it been with Artie Smith this year as the OC as a whole? How has he been with the boys?
Man, he's one of the boys, man. He's been great. He's been, celebrating with us after wins. He's been getting us juiced up, ready to go. He's been great. He puts us in situations, everyone, where we can succeed. He's really thoughtful about the game plans. He puts us in, advantageous looks to create mismatches and stuff. So he's been great, and it's very relieving playing with Artie Smith.
He used to get beers for the offensive line as soon as right after wins back in Atlanta, and he was like, "No, not in the locker room. I would never do that in the locker room. There's potential rules violations if we do that in the locker room." But he's always been like that. And he's the son of a billionaire too. It's like his football story is so fascinating because of everything else he could do. Like he could have just kicked his feet up. He slept on couches in the Tennessee Titans facility, drawn up cards, get coffee for football coaches, like everything he's done to earn his stripes. I think he's probably very excited to be back just at offense coordinator role, enjoying life, doing ball. And it's showing out there, it feels like. Muth, it feels like it's showing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you never know what his background or anything like that. He comes in, he's part of the boys, he hangs out with us. Like he's unreal. Like, I can't say enough good things about him. He's a hell of an offensive coordinator.
Maybe you do the mustache like him. Maybe you should.
Yeah, you should.
Probably not. I got a chubby face without the beard. It doesn't look good.
Oh, amen. Yeah. We understand. We all understand. Hey, Ty has a question for you, Moose.
Yeah, Pat. We heard that the whole AFC North is going to be on an in-season Hard Knocks this year. Have they started filming that yet? And have you noticed anything like with that? Because Tomlin seems like the kind of guy who would really enjoy that whole process and kind of welcome cameras being in you guys' facility and kind of in your face on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah, Coach T loves it. No, I'm kidding. But no, they started coming in a little bit, just getting set up last week, and so obviously we're on the bye this week, so we won't see too much of them. But they're going to be there right when we get back, preparing for Washington. So it is what it is. We just got to limit the distractions. I'm sure Danny Smith is going to love the opportunity of Hard Knocks, and maybe we can just highlight him the whole time. But chewing the gum, absolutely.
Oh my!
The weight room.
He is shirtless in the weight room.
So,
Danny's the man, huh?
Oh, he's the best, man. He's awesome. He's awesome.
He's a good coach too. Like it's good. He's from Pittsburgh, so he's a Yinzer. He's a good coach, and he's awesome. Like has committed his entire life to special teams and to being the Steelers coach. It's like what a legend out there. I'm happy to see him getting some shine, Muth. Legit.
It's big time, man. He prepares everyone. It's funny. Like we go in the morning, we'll go from a team meeting, which Coach T talks like for 30, 45 minutes, and then Danny Smith will tell everyone to stay. And then he's talking for another 10, 15 minutes about stuff that Coach T just talked about. So he gets the boys, inspired for sure.
Him echoing Tomlin's sentiment after the team meeting. All right, special teams right here afterwards, just like Coach T said. Just like
nah, for real.
That is amazing. Does Coach stick around for the Danny Smith speech in the meeting, or is he out of there?
Nah, he's out of there. He's got some film to watch.
I can't. Hey, Danny, make sure to hammer that home. I'm going to get out of here. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Muth, it feels like this year, more so than last year also, Darnell Washington has been, involved in the offense more. How happy have you been for him? And is he one of the biggest, most athletic sons of bitches you've ever seen on a football field?
Dude, he's massive. His playing weight is not what's listed, but I'm not going to expose him right now. But he's
okay.
Huge.
What is the one listed? Let's see what's listed. Not going to expose him, obviously, but we will certainly take some guesses. He's massive.
I think it's like 264. I think it's listed as 264.
6'7", 265.
Got to listed. Got to be 290.
290.
Yeah, 290, 300.
6'7"? Yeah, and thick.
Big
like
son of a
6'8".
bitch.
Moving.
He's a left tackle. He's a left tackle. But
Yeah, he's a beast. It's funny, like when he's lined up we're watching film and he's lined up in the line of scrimmage, like we assume he's the tackle. Like we forget that he's the tight end. So no, I'm super for happy for him. He's thriving in this offense. Art's been putting him in situations where he can make plays. And I mean, if I was a DB, I would hate to see him running full speed at me. So
Well, and what's Coach Fredo like? Then isn't one of his lines like "make him tackle you" or something like? I forget the way he views it. Coach Fredo was obviously. Go ahead.
Make him tackle you. That's his phrase. Make him tackle you. Because
you guys are bigger, obviously stronger, faster, and even if they do tackle you, that's going to be a hit that they have to sustain and deal with. Fredo is with us. He's the man. I assume you guys love him over there.
Oh, Fredo's the GOAT. He pushes every day. He's good to hang around with and crack jokes in the meeting rooms. The meeting room is very serious but unserious at the same time, so it's been great.
That's good culture. Speaking of culture, we're going to Penn State this weekend. How's it going to be up here?
It'll be sweet. I'll be up there, so I'll see you there.
You're coming up?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm coming up. I'm not going to miss this game.
Why didn't you say it? That's like AJ Hawk.
Wow,
leaving Ioza.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Do you guys do that to each other when you see each other in public? You got a Penn State thing on, you go, Penn State, and then just walk.
No, people sometimes will be like, "We are," and I'll be like, "Yeah, Penn State." It's super awkward.
Why? What's your problem? AJ does the same thing with Ohio. I'll go OH to him. He goes, yup, you know it. And then he's like, because he gets sick of it. I think there's too many of them. Is the we are the greeting?
Yeah, we are the greeting. It'll be like, we are. And you're supposed to say Penn State. But sometimes it just catches me off track where like, I just forget.
And then is there a thank you and you're welcome?
Yeah, so usually it's 3 times like, we are Penn State. We are Penn State. We are Penn State. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
What?
Like
It's real culture. We have culture at Penn State, unlike some other programs that we beat down on. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's talk about the culture. You feel like this is the year maybe for this Penn State team? Is this the year?
Could be. I'm hopefully Drew's healthy this week. Drew has to be healthy. I'll shout out Bo for coming in and saving the day against Wisconsin, but Drew's got to be healthy, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping so. Kyle Warren is a dog.
Yes, absolutely. Is that 4-4?
Yeah.
Dude, how about that catch against USC on a double throw? Nasty.
17 catches. Crazy.
That's yeah. Are you guys becoming tight end? No.
No.
What's that? Who's that?
Iowa.
No,
Same conference.
Fredo school.
Yeah.
We're close. We're close.
See, we're close, but he knows not there yet.
Okay, well, maybe if old buddy keeps breaking records every week, I think it will be his.
Oh, one guy? Yeah, sure.
Him and Moose?
Yeah, 2 guys.
Hey, were you there when James Franklin tried to fight a fan? When was that? Because it feels like this is the best Coach Franklin that I've seen. Me personally. I agree. Like, legit, we've seen a lot of. He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And like, it feels like all his bad moments were what was being projected to everybody. Other than Keegan.
Michael Key.
That was like the only positive press that James Franklin was getting, because it legit for a long time. But now it's like the team top 5. Here we go, and everything he's doing is seemingly good. What would you say about Coach James Franklin for those that maybe don't know much about him? Like me, for instance, I'm going up there this weekend.
Yeah, he is like behind closed doors in the facility. He's very much like he loves everyone on the program. It's not like if you produce for me, I treat you a different way than other guys. Like, he treats everyone the same way, which you got to respect as a player and a coach. He demands a lot from us, but he always going to, give you favors in return. So he's a great coach, great program guy, great culture guy, and so he has the team buzzing right now for sure.
I heard some Penn State fans not thrilled about this being at noon and not at night, because the white.
I did see that. See, I like the 12 o'clock because you can play the game, you get home, you can maybe tailgate after. You can go out and celebrate. Like, we beat Michigan in my whiteout year, and it was a night game, and it was like 12:30, and I'm trying to go out, and no one's out. So it's like, if you win, the celebration's a lot better after the fact.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, can we have some fun?
How about that?
You guys have fun all day. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're in a hotel. Okay. And then we're in warm-ups in this entire thing. All right. Well, good luck this week. I'll see you this weekend. Enjoy the bye week, and congrats to your Steelers being great at football right now and inspiring a lot of optimism from Yinzers everywhere.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic. It's nice. It's nice.
It is nice. It is nice.
And if anybody ever sees anything I say, it's just in the heat of the moment, and that's just what it is.
Was that to the locker room you were saying?
Yep. I just said it.
We see it.
Yeah, if I can relay that message.
What do you see? This isn't good. I'm learning this. I'm learning this, by the way. Okay, especially.
We see it all.
Great. That's great.
Well, we've only talked good about the Steelers, so
that's true.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, last year during the Canada days.
Pat almost ripped our arms off.
Yeah, you're right. It's a whole new year.
Whole team this year.
It's a different team.
Different team.
We appreciate the hell out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Pat Fryer. They do see it all. Everybody sees it all.
Yeah.
Including Haason Reddick. Bill Belichick came on the program yesterday and basically said, Haason Reddick's just running right by tackles. They're just running right off him. See you later, this guy. All right. And then obviously Bill Belichick has had some thoughts about how Haason Reddick has handled this all. He put a tweet out, Haason Reddick, in response. He said, hey, someone call Bill Belichick and give him a job. He's got like 10 jobs right now, Haason, I will tell you. Seems like he's home bored and can't keep me out of his mouth. Come up for air, why don't you? Did he? Well, I don't know.
I don't
know what that means. I don't know what that means. We will continue.
There was no P. Diddy in.
Yeah, I don't think Bill. I don't even know if Bill knows what's going on with Sean Combs.
I doubt it.
I don't know if he knows. No, Diddy. I don't.
What does that mean?
No diggity?
No, is that what he meant?
Yeah.
Maybe it was autocorrect from a smartphone.
That makes sense.
Nonetheless, he said it there. We will continue to try to figure that whole thing out at that part. But Haason answering Bill Belichick is hysterical to think about. Because Bill Belichick, everything he says every single week, we were just chit-chatting about the all-Belichick team. Yeah. Like, that's going to matter. And for what Haason Reddick said, he needs to get dropped. He's got like 10 of them.
Got a lot.
This guy's dropping gospel all over the place. Thursday, he's got that team coming out with the Coach podcast with him, Lombardi, and Matt Patricia. How do you feel about like the modern world and how it's handled? It used to be don't listen to the press clippings.
Yeah.
Don't read the headlines. You can't respond to everybody. Now it's like, see everything. You have to see everything. And obviously, Freiermuth said we see everything. It's because they open their phone and their algorithm says, hey, did you see this? This guy buried you. And they do it to me. So it's like a never-ending cycle of having to deal with it. How do you feel that plays into like this generation, and how do you feel about it as a whole? Do you like? I don't mind Haason Reddick answering.
Yeah, I don't mind players going. I don't mind people, men, women, whoever, handling and saying whatever they want to say and putting their name on it, putting their name and face on it. Whenever that happens, it is what it is. You say what it is, and you stand on it. Obviously, Bill felt how he felt after watching the tape, and then Haason felt how he felt after listening to him. It was an incident like this with Stefon Diggs right after the game.
Yeah.
Like, you lose a big game on prime time against, probably, somewhat of a rival with San Fran, and you coming at a reporter who said something about your effort. So as a player, I didn't like it. It was times where I was just like wouldn't even search my name on Twitter after
Certainly
the game.
not.
Because, I mean, you can have a great game. You give one first down, one touchdown up. It's like, cut this guy, get this guy out of here. So it's just something extra to think about. But these guys now playing, they've grown up their entire lives, high school, college, pro, with it. So it's just kind of a part of it now.
Yeah, I appreciate people responding and answering. I think in the right time, though. Just like in real life. Like, if you're talking shit to somebody who is superior to you at everything, like, I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
At a bad time. Like, what's going on with the Jets right now, don't think it's the right time for Reddick to say anything. Get a win, get a sack, then I think you respond.
Sure.
Just because you're coming from a point where you can actually have a little leverage and maybe dunk on somebody. The Diggs thing, I appreciate that. He saw it and said, where is he?
Yeah.
He's outside.
I know he's here.
I'm going to go do this, even though they just
Pad
lost.
still on, like still in pad.
Open his phone. This is the interaction that happened outside the locker room after. Go ahead.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that?
It feels like we lost the sound. We lost the sound because of the connection. We just searched for it. And then on the way in is whenever the best thing happens, whenever he says, what about these nuts or something?
Yep, yeah.
And then walks in. And then D's nuts was trending for 12 hours. And then a nice trip down memory lane of what D's nuts used to be in everywhere society. I mean, so clever. People used to get so clever with D's nuts ones. So I don't like that Diggs just kind of forced it in there.
Sure.
He should have said, hey, why don't you tweet about D next time? And that guy who was responding saying, you didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. If Diggs would have got him with a, why don't you tweet about D sometime? He would have, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, who's D? And then, oh my God. That would have been fantastic. But it does feel like a world where you got to respond. And if you don't respond and everybody else sees what's being said, do you look soft? It's an interesting job. We're obviously in the middle of it right now with Anthony Richardson.
Right. But I think in situations like that, it's a little bit different when you have a media guy like that who's showing up at practice and after games and like they'll rip on you and say shit and then act like nothing ever happened, and then they want you to give them a good soundbite for their story or whatever they're working on. Like, you can understand how guys are like, no, you can't just pop off at the mouth, talk a bunch of shit about me and expect me to come in and treat you with the utmost respect and, give you something good for, like, to help your profession when all you're doing is continually tearing me down. So, like, those situations I understand. Like, that's what Twitter has just become now, though. It used to be, like, you'd go to a game and you just yell a guy sucks and shit on him from the crowd, and that was that, and it was the end of it. And now Twitter is like, you know what? After the game, like, I'm going to tell this guy that he sucks. And that's just kind of how everything is.
And if you do it in a clever way, everybody else who wants to tell him he sucks is going to retweet
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And then obviously people that didn't even know you sucked or think that you suck are going to see this very clever wordplay breaking you down. And then all of a sudden now a narrative from the player side. Now a narrative's getting built that I suck when this is this one person's opinion in this entire thing. Yeah. And from that entire play, that's what you took from it. That's what Diggs was trying to say. So you're telling me you watch that play and I'm the problem of that play. And then you don't know ball. You don't know ball. I was responding that, thinking about it. I sent it to one person, and I decided I wasn't going to answer everybody. I was saying that to a lot of people that were Colts fans yesterday. who were very upset with the way we talked about Anthony Richardson. And they said, we see running backs tap out all the time, wide receivers tap out all the time, D linemen tap out all the time. We need to normalize quarterbacks doing it. And let me tell you, you don't know ball.
Yeah.
Okay? No. That is just...
They didn't say that.
You don't know ball. People saying that, yeah. A lot of Colts fans mad at me for saying this, and it's like, hey, Colts fans, I'm alongside the ride. Do you know when the last time we won was? Long time ago. So whenever things like this happen, it is my obligation, I feel, as a Colts fan, and potentially somebody who could be heard to be like, hey, this ain't it. Now, did everybody else say this ain't it? Yes. Who are all the people that said this ain't it? People that know ball. Okay? Because the quarterback position is different than every other position. So whenever you're quarterback, the future of your franchise, a person who's supposed to take us back to the winning ways, got drafted number 4 overall. That 4th overall pick we didn't trade for. We earned that. That's how bad our team was. This guy's supposed to be the future, yada, yada, yada. You're not the future of a football team, especially at the quarterback position, if you're choosing to leave the game, choosing to walk off the field because you're tired. So if we don't point that out, I feel like we're doing a disservice to Colts fans. So all you Colts fans, I appreciate how much passion you have for Anthony Richardson being the future. And I think he's an incredibly cool guy. I think he's a very cool guy. I think his rap, good. I don't think he's just like good athlete rapper. I think he's a good rapper. I think he's a cool guy. I think his little thing with Jonathan Taylor was fun. I think he's a nice guy. But also, he's quarterback of an NFL football team. You're a professional athlete, brother.
Big league.
This is how this goes. This isn't youth. This isn't high school. This isn't college where they were not good, okay? They're like, that is not. This is the NFL, brother. And we got a team that is very, very good. And we can go on a run. So when he plays great, it's magical. But there's little things like tapping out that like make everybody lose faith in this guy being a guy because you've never seen somebody that is a guy do that. So that's just kind of the reaction. And I know you were a little bit ahead of it, I think, D, but these Colts fans have been coming after me because I disrespected our quarterback. It's like, I feel like it would be disrespectful if I didn't say it. Like that's how I feel about the whole thing.
Absolutely. It's like if you're coaching a player, if you're talking about a player, if that's a younger player on my team, and some of his teammates and coaches said, hey, they had a conversation with him. And it's a reason why everybody who's been around the game or talked about the game had the same or similar reaction. It's not like we don't like Anthony Richardson. I love Anthony Richardson. I'm rooting for him. Young kid, got an opportunity. You got drafted high. You obviously have the talent. Yeah, and it's not like he's a shitbird where it's easy like, hey, all right, whenever he mess up, I just want to jump on this guy. But when we get on here, I give my honest opinion, and I'm speaking on how I feel about whatever it takes, whether it's a play, whether it's something off the field in that moment. 4 weeks from now, it can change. Hey, he can learn from this. He can go on to be a great player. That's what I'm hoping for as a former Colt, as a Colt fan. But, I guess I appreciate the passion of the fans, feeling like they have to defend their guy. Hey, look, a lot of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. When you talk, hey, a kid tapping out when he feels exhaustion, bad on him. Yeah, it's bad on him when you're the quarterback. But once again, it was one play. It was a lot of other things that went into that loss. We get that, but that is a horrible look. He understands that. Hopefully he learns from it and moves on to be
still could have won the game.
Absolutely. Yeah,
came back in, plays great at times, and has some mistakes. It's like that's what we're expecting from a rookie quarterback. And I think, and even though he's in his second year, rookie year, because his last year got cut short because he had shoulder surgery that ended his year after week 5 or whatever. So we understand it's a rookie quarterback. But the traits of like not being a guy are the things that can't like. Missing a throw, sweet. Missing a read, all good. Fumbling the ball on exchange multiple weeks in a row, all good. This guy can figure this out. Tapping out though, like that is something that's like, this can't happen. I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're in your 10th year. There's only 32 of these jobs. This can't happen. So I felt obligated to say something. And I do apologize to the Colts fans. I feel like I was bamboozling him. I was not. I was speaking the truth about it.
Very positive.
Very positive. Very positive about it all because it's like this guy is a special athlete.
Yeah.
Like a special athlete. And it's like he could, which is why it's such a bummer to see that happen because like what he could be if that isn't in his world. And I assume you can learn your lesson from this and change. I assume this trait is changeable.
Well, I mean, you got to get in shape. That's the bottom line.
Getting in shape would be a full. That becomes like a full commitment to that.
That's part of being a pro.
That's a lifestyle. That's almost like a lifestyle.
You can also learn your lesson by people saying stuff like that. Because otherwise, if everyone just makes excuses for it and normalizes it, then it's like, okay, whatever. Like, he's different. He's special. He can tap out when he needs to. You talked about yesterday, like, how many guys have we seen, like Kirk Cousins, like, they have to peel his body off the turf after getting just killed. And guess what? He gets his ass back up, goes back down, and throws a touchdown on the next play. Like, if you're not saying anything, then you're just normalizing it, and then it is what it is. And then, how are Colts fans going to react when he does this again and Flacco or whoever it is comes in cold and fumbles the snap, in the red zone or something like that? Like, and again, that's an extreme situation, but like that's possible.
That was a third down against Houston Texans.
Exactly, in the red zone.
No, it was in the middle of it, but still.
Third and goal.
Still.
It was backed up a third and goal.
So, like, the whole, like, that's a massive moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in his head, he didn't think, all right, we got a big third down here. In his head, he thought, I'm tired, boss. That can't be the thought. So what we're saying is, I haven't given up on Anthony Richardson, but I think whenever you do that, you make a lot of people think, this guy's not a guy. And I don't like that because I think AR can be a guy.
Well,
personally, maybe at some point.
Like, people mad at you or, D-Butt or whoever they want to be mad at about this situation. Like, Steichen and Ryan Kelly came out and basically both said, like, yeah, we talked to him. You can't do that. Like, that is not the standard you play with. And I think Steichen, I forget what his exact quote was, but it was essentially like, yeah, that's not something that you can ever do. Like, you have to be in the football game to play. You're the starting quarterback for our team. Yeah, he knows he can't come out of the game. When they had a private conversation, I'm sure there was a lot more said than just that. But, like, the fact that people want to normalize something like this
that's a problem.
Is asinine.
That's a problem. That can't happen either. Colts fans can't get like that. That can't be who we are.
Well, that's stupid.
If that was a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, and this is where I'm from, so I guess I have to judge this a little bit differently because, that whole thing. Boy. If a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback was healthy and decided to tap out and leave the field, I don't know if they would have been allowed to wear a Steelers uniform again. Legitimately. I have no idea if you were even completely healthy, just tired, middle of the season. I genuinely, I don't think, and there's other places that are like that. Philadelphia?
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine Philadelphia? New England? Any of these,
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't think of, obviously some shitty organizations out there, but any, like.
Carolina, it'd be.
Carolina, they big. We understand.
Yeah.
Should have tapped out earlier, brother.
We get it, Bryce.
Andy Dalton, you should have actually been tapping out there. So that can't be how Colts fans are viewing this. Just as a person that is very invested in being a Colts fan, at every home game, trying to make home field advantage better, basically, trying my best, offering up it's like, that ain't it. Mm-hmm. And it can't be it. Now, you know what can be it? MCDC saying we're up to something.
Look out.
Listen, up to something season is potentially all the time. Okay? You can always be up to something. But it's always exciting. It's always something where, right around the corner, what is it? Oh, who knows? You know why? Because it's up to something season.
Yep.
Did Dan Campbell say they're up to something on that defensive line? And Aiden Hutchinson? Here's him yesterday at the press conference responding to a question about maybe adding somebody to the D-line before trade deadline.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Could be.
No, seriously. So has he come to you with something?
Yeah, could be.
What is he doing? What did he just say? Run that again.
He's giddy.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, it could be.
He don't like hold the seat.
Yeah.
Hands on his chest.
He's a guy you can't tell anything.
Badly.
Me neither.
No, seriously. So has he come to you?
No, I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe. I don't know. Could be. Yeah, type it up. Type it up. Could be. Could be.
All right.
Hey, has he come to you with anything yet? Could be. Maybe.
Yeah.
Zadarius Smith's on our team. Okay, that is potentially what he wanted to say. Oh, we're making a big-time move. Yeah, we're making a play. But he didn't. He didn't say anything. Foxy, as a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah.
First of all, he has the Red Wings Army hat on.
It's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Okay, pretty cool hat. Terrible hockey team.
Terrible.
But it is a very good hat. Hockey's awesome. The Detroit Red Wings used to be. Mm-hmm. Now they are a team that whenever they decided to have a tournament during COVID, they didn't even get invited to the tournament.
Don't need it.
Okay, so that is who the Detroit Red, that's the Army that and maybe MCDC can go over and lead that program. And maybe I assume he could coach anything.
For sure.
I agree.
And they would win.
Yeah.
That's how MCDC is as a leader. What does this answer say to you as a Lions fan, though?
No, I'm just happy we're all in. We have to make a trade. If we don't make a trade and we don't win the Super Bowl, I will not sleep at night. So I love MCDC doing this. And I've been checking my phone every single second, waiting for that trade to come in. And to your point, I think it is Zadarius Smith. But yeah, this pumps me up big time.
Schefter said yesterday, Deontay Johnson, Zadarius Smith, I fully expect to be traded. No, maybe not fully. I expect them to be traded. The way he said it to us was like, these two are definitely on the block being shopped. You would assume that Zadarius would head there. Where was Zadarius before Cleveland?
Well, he played in Minnesota, and then he played for the Packers as well. And then the Ravens before that. He's bounced around to several teams.
Packers, he was
very good.
Very good,
Yeah,
right?
Pro Bowl or All-Pro.
Same with you.
Vikings, he was good too.
Same deal. And his whole thing, he's moved places because he typically does perform, but then he wants a new deal, and I don't know if teams are really willing to give him the deal he's looking for, so he ends up, hitting free agency.
Is he a MCDC guy, I assume?
Yeah,
D lineman?
be, yeah.
Any D lineman could be an MCDC guy?
Yeah, he can fit in for sure. Obviously, as that pass rusher, when you do have a hot year, to Todd's point, like you want to get paid, you want to get that the Haason Reddick situation. Like you want to strike while the iron's hot, but everywhere he's been, he's produced if he's healthy.
The Lions, man, what a team!
Yeah.
That'd be so lucky to join.
And we're not going to replace Hutch, but I just want to see effort. If we have effort as a fan, I can sleep at night with that.
Hutch up there in suite there was that was cool.
Yeah,
that
was cool.
I guess it was a really, really loud pop. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I could
would
fathom.
hope.
His foot half socked.
In that entire pillow thingy around his leg.
That was a nasty injury. There was a nasty injury in NBA last night.
Terrible.
Yeah.
The guy's knee just.
Yeah, I did not watch that one.
That was disgusting.
So it was gross.
I mean, there's been a few of those going around. There was almost one with Justin Herbert. Did you see this?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Justin Herbert was getting gator rolled a little bit after.
Tried to rip his leg off.
He did. It was caught on camera, obviously, right in front of the ref. And then teammate of his, absolute dog, Bradley Bozeman, says, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Boom!
Yeah.
Get off my quarterback."
Love that.
Now, Justin Herbert obviously is saying, all right, okay, I like the gesture.
Thanks,
I like the gesture. Let's not get you. Yeah, you.
You piece of shit.
Bradley Bozeman has the C on his chest for a reason. He actually talked about the play afterwards. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, it was probably one of the dirtier plays I've ever seen, especially with my own eyes.
These eyes?
Seeing the ball's gone 2-3 seconds, and he's still gator rolling. He's on the ground. He's still gator rolling. Just protect your quarterback. You protect your quarterback no matter what. I think any of our offensive linemen that was in that position would have done the exact same thing. So, had to get him off of him, and we did.
I don't know if any other offensive lineman would, but the guy who's wearing a C on his chest in Los Angeles certainly did. And I bet Jim Harbaugh was like, come on in.
Yeah.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. I bet you that's what Jim did.
Without doubt.
Did you see this, man? He was willing to kill a guy for a quarterback, man. And just kind of re-emphasizing the point. Quarterback's different. Okay, quarterback is different. I'm not saying that Bradley Bozeman wouldn't do this for any other position. I assume he would. He's probably that type of guy. But in his answer, he was like, you don't do that to our quarterback. Quarterback is different. Always has been viewed different. Always will be viewed different. And if you're Justin Herbert, you absolutely love this, even though Herbert's not like a super emotional guy. Even though after he threw a touchdown to Lad McConkey, he was jogging off the field doing one of these.
Yeah, he's been chirping.
He has been. He's been showing a lot of fire and emotion.
Harbaugh's got him feeling a little bit.
A little moxie out of Herbert over there. What did you see from the Chargers team?
J.K. Dobbins talked about that too when he came on, about Herbert being a little different. But yeah, as a quarterback, you see a guy sick enough for you, love that. If he gets fined, I'm sure Herbert or the other linemen to chip in and take care of that. And to your point, that is football. I remember a few years ago, I think it was Andy Dalton, Cowboys, and he took a hit and his old lineman just kind of stood there and watched. Everybody in the football community is kind of like, hey, what's that? That's not how it's supposed to go down. So when you see this happening for your quarterback, like Bozeman said, any offensive lineman in that situation, that's how they respond. If I'm a teammate of his and I see the offensive line not respond in that fashion, I got a problem with that O-line. So I absolutely love this from Bozeman. Okay.
I think that was after the Ladd touchdown, maybe, the throw to Lad McConkey where he mossed. It was nasty. Lad McConkey, too.
Come on here.
Bit of a dog.
He brought the boom, too, after that.
Yeah.
That's 6 of them.
We are worried about the boom.
Yeah.
We just saw they were. What they?
I just
late night.
That's why they may have jumped the shark.
That's why.
What?
No.
It feels like we've got too much of the booms right now.
Who made this ruling?
It's probably my fault, our fault. Me learning of it and then just driving it home every time I get to a microphone, possibly a part of the problem. Obviously, the Rizzler is really coming into his own.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm worried about how What's that?
I'm not worried about the Rizzler. The Rizzler, we need more Rizzler.
The Rizzler's
okay?
the main character here, if anybody didn't know.
The Rizzler is 8 years old.
Yep.
Obviously, he's on a trajectory that we have not seen maybe since Lady Gaga wrote that song in that parking lot that night with Bradley Cooper.
Sure.
And then A Star Was Born. And that's just kind of like this. That's what the Rizzler's really done in this entire thing.
Well, I'm worried about the Rizzler as well because his role on Fallon last night was basically to sit in the chair and they stuffed him full of sweets and candy, okay? And we don't need the Rizzler to...
He's an 8-year-old obviously taking over. They could have got him a smaller chair. I do think they could have got him a smaller chair. Or they have in the past put people behind the other people with like a different chair style. This is a deep seat. This ain't the Rizzler's seat. Obviously,
he looks comfy.
Him sitting in A1 though, okay, right next to the desk. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. He has earned that in the late night world. But
AJ was gritting his teeth because of that, I bet.
Why?
Because you could tell. AJ was on the end of the couch and he was...
Not AJ Hawk. You're talking Little Costco.
No, I'm not Big Costco.
What was his move? What was his move on Fallon?
Usually anything Fallon would say, AJ would just
Big Costco is
yeah,
AJ?
It's like, dude, shut up.
Big Justice is the
Listen, the
bullet.
humans may have jumped the shark, but doing the boom hasn't.
Okay, so hold on. The humans are still riding high. I didn't know you guys were going to do what you just did right there. I don't like it.
I mean,
you didn't think we two were?
You too.
We watched the whole entire
After the show, you go and you watch the 7.5 minutes on Jimmy Fallon, and then you tell me what you think.
Because we did.
He's on to something.
We're still bringing a boom or no?
The dance?
I'll still bring the boom.
Well,
I'll love the dance.
not every setting is right for everybody.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's a great way to put it, actually.
I mean, even Fallon, who's the most, like, oh my God, these guys are so great. It's so funny. It's so great. He was making shit of them 2 minutes in.
No way.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon turned heel a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Laughed
No
at the
way.
double chunk chocolate cookie.
He enjoyed the double chunk chocolate cookie.
No, he went to say it and he was like, what the hell? How have I gotten here?
Well, and AJ and Big Justice went to do 5 booms, and after 2, Fallon was like, yeah, we get it.
All
boom,
right,
boom.
all right.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, he did.
5 booms. Boom. Boom. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
all
Boom,
right.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
We get it. Yeah, 5.
No way.
Yeah, he did.
You're telling me James Fallon.
A lot of that.
Jimmy.
See, he's laughing, saying double chunk
Let me
chocolate
pay
cookie.
my respects to Jimmy Fallon real quick. Okay, that late night show host job is obviously one that is insane. And however they got it, there's always stories. Letterman was supposed to get her. Leno got it over Letterman, which launched the Letterman thing, which lost to No Pants, which then lost Craig Ferguson late night. He gets fired. Then late night ends up happening. Jimmy Fallon starts there. He moves into the main role. There's always a bunch of controversy whenever this happens. Show stop, everything, yada yada. That late night thing, all the way back to
Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson and who was his? Johnny Carson had a. Nonetheless, that's what became like must watch. Now they only had like 3 channels back then. Okay, so late night television was very important to everybody's career. So they're able to book everybody. They got exclusives to everybody. As the world continued to evolutionize, now it's kind of become like a clips type setting for people. But holding that seat is obviously a massive ordeal in the history of entertainment. And I think Jimmy Fallon is a talented son of a bitch.
Yes.
Guy can sing,
yeah.
brings the juice all the time. Now, there's a lot of things said about him. There's a lot of things said about me, too, that aren't factual because of the juice in it all. I think his interviewing style, some people like mock and make fun of, he's just trying to bring the juice.
No doubt.
He's trying to bring the boom all the time. If he said he's done with Big Costco and Little Costco, that would be a very large surprise in my eyes because he tries to put everybody over.
Bingo.
Everybody that comes on the show, he tries to, just like I'm trying to make people feel good when they come on the show, so they want to come on the show in the future because it makes the show better whenever we're not talking, other people are talking, when I'm not talking and other people are talking. And Jimmy's like the king of that almost, like trying to make him feel good. You're telling me he couldn't even buy in?
I was surprised he wasn't really ready for it. We were saying no heat from the crowd either. Can you imagine getting tickets to that the night before? You got Lady Gaga and Brad Pitt getting interviewed by Jimmy Fallon. You come the next night and you got Big Justice and AJ out there. I mean, just yikes.
You'd be pumped about that.
What do you yeah. What is your
about
guys?
the Rizzler?
The Rizzler, sure.
You guys need to start bringing the boom a little bit. Too much doom. Hour 2 on the other side. We'll do the sports. See you then. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commish.
This is why we're on set?
Yep, you can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you.
What?
Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah!
Come on there, baby.
Good pick! Good pick!
I'll pick him up. Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Doesn't count.
Big Pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they kicked you out?
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell is sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, anyone talk to her.
There
it is. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need preseason.
Waste of time, right, and energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, that's spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now we're cooking.
Can you talk to the president?
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our spooky Humble Abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sports Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is awesome, and we're just a couple days away from Halloween. I just realized that. As I was saying, spooky. I was like, it's not just the Thunderdome that's spooky right now. Whole world's spooky. Also, 80 degrees outside in Indianapolis.
Love it.
I don't know how long this is happening, but the leaves have turned. They're beautiful. Trick or treat's going to be insane, I assume, on Thursday.
Yeah, cold rainy on Thursday.
It's supposed to be like 90% chance of rain on Thursday. Oh no!
But move it up. They need to make an audible.
I checked the hourly. It should be done by like 5 o'clock, and trick or treating starts at 5:30. So we should be all right.
Trick or treating is some of my fondest memories as a kid. Anybody can do it, you know. So it's like everybody's doing it. Anybody can do it. It is a phenomenal holiday, and it's nice to see people put effort in the house. And in a Thunderdome, shout out ZD. Good move here, pal. Getting this whole place ready to go. And remember, Halloween episode on Thursday, we will be in full costume.
That's right. Yeah.
When did you stop trick-or-treating? Like what age?
Last year.
Junior high, maybe?
Con. That's the Talks the Table. I Boss Connor and Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone. And then 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler just asked that particular question. When did you stop trick-or-treating? I don't remember. I genuinely look, joining us now from an attic in Ohio, certainly a man who will remember exactly the day he slept.
That's right.
College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, AJ Hawk. AJ, when did you stop trick or treating? Hair looks great.
I would guess like maybe 7th grade. Probably went 6th grade. In 7th grade, you probably think you're too cool for school a little bit, and you maybe go out with your buddies a little bit and just pal around.
Yeah, I guess junior high, 7th grade for us.
7th was the last year, I remember.
Yeah, and do you feel old too? Do you feel old too?
I think you feel old when you're tall. Like if you're taller than everybody, you feel like you're being a bully. Maybe.
Yes.
As soon as you elbow like a 5-year-old for a large Kit Kat, you're like, all right, I should probably call.
Look yourself in the mirror.
How about when you're waiting in line behind like 4 7-year-olds?
Yeah.
And then you're standing there. Come on.
And their parents are behind them. Say thank you. Make sure you say thank you, because that's what I do with my kids. And then you see like a sophomore kid who parks his car in the driveway and he's going out there getting king size.
Sir?
Yeah.
By the way.
Excuse me.
What are you guys giving out? Big ones? No way anybody gets to your state.
No, I mean we don't. No. I got 4 kids, so we're out. We're hitting the streets. We don't have any. We're not there.
Well, you're going to somebody else's neighborhood and hitting the street?
Yeah, we just walk a little ways, and there's great neighborhoods all around us.
Yeah, you got to scout the neighborhoods.
Yeah, a lot of Ohio houses giving out like bullets. Like, hey, gear up.
All right, we got Zen. We got some bullets.
You want some Marlboros?
Ammo's expensive. I don't know. That's a lot.
Yeah,
you would know, wouldn't you?
It is. I think price only goes up to whenever situations happen. Seemingly, it always feels like it's a little bit of quite a. I mean, that thing goes like from here.
Stock up.
Just gosh darn inflation.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, but nonetheless, maybe in Ohio that's how it goes. I hope everybody enjoys the hell out of Halloween and, gets a chance to dress up.
Hell yeah.
AJ, you got your costume ready for Thursday?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I've been going back and forth. I think I have it.
Is this like a full-on?
No, it's not a thing. I mean, I put effort into it. I put thought into it. Yes, I don't know if it's going to be decent or not, but I'm going to put a lot of effort into it.
I'm a little bit worried. I've not tried mine on yet. Thought about this weeks ago. This furthest out, I've thought about something in a while.
Love it. I love to hear that.
Thought about it weeks ago. Have not tried it on though, and we are 2 days out. So there's a chance that it's a full backfire.
Yeah, sure. I just tried mine on. It is tight.
Okay,
that's a good thing.
Should work. More aerodynamic.
And we gotta remember we gotta speak for a few hours.
Oh yeah.
So whatever we wear, microphone, has to be heard in that whole thing, which I am a little bit worried about. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, a little Easter egg there. What are you gonna be?
As a little, just a little tree, a little nugget.
You bringing the boom? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I might have to change after this Jimmy. Which, hey, did you hear about booms last night? They're in the chat on TikTok Live. We'd like to let them know, hey,
love them.
Great idea.
Still love the dance.
Yeah,
great idea. Great concept.
Just not through Fallon anytime
soon.
I
said,
you tell me Jimmy Fallon got sick of him? There's no way. Jimmy Fallon, he's the perfect guy for them to go on.
Agreed.
Cut the tape.
Yeah.
Cut on the tape.
Hey, Big Costco. Ty said you need poor performance.
There's some egos. Are there some egos going on? Is that what's going on? Like everybody wants to be the top dog?
I don't know if it's necessarily that. It was kind of just like Jimmy, which he, to your point, never does, was kind of just like 2 minutes in, like, all right, I'm done with the fucking shtick.
Sounds like a Jimmy problem.
We get it. I'm not going to let you railroad this and do boom, 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 boom. He was not about it.
They were going to do 5 booms, and to Ty's point, he cut them off. Like, actually, Big Justice and AJ kept going, and Fallon was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. We get it.
For shoot, that's what happened.
I need to see it.
That's what happened.
They had the graphics for him and all. I don't know.
I think Jimmy was pumped to have the booms there.
He was pumped to have Rizzler.
Well, Rizzler's seat 1 over there. That's a big deal. Yeah. Hey, Costco's, good work.
Still love you guys.
Keep going.
We certainly do. AJ, have you been paying attention to these NFL games and their graphics at all?
I've been trying. Why? And you see anything unusual?
Well, like on Monday Night Football last night, the 3 timeout lights, both kind of same color. All right. Fox, the timeout lights, which are very important, especially as football fans continue to learn about the game and about the sport and everything like that. They know how important time. Very clear to see. The Arizona Cardinals have 2 timeouts there, right?
Yep.
Dolphins have 3 timeouts right there, right?
Yeah.
Very clear, very easy. A massive piece of narrative building is around situational football and game management. Fans know more about it now than ever, and if they don't, aggregators who are following everything know. So I think they should make it as easy to see. Look at the CBS one. Okay, look at that. Now, I guess because the Indianapolis Colts graphic is white, they couldn't make it the same color as the Houston one. The Colts have 3 timeouts right there.
Oh, shit.
The Colts have 3 timeouts right there.
No idea.
I thought they were out of timeout.
Bingo. Me too. And I was so mad. I got hold on. So the Colts have no timeouts. We're in the first quarter. We're in the first quarter right now.
What are we doing?
What the hell happened? What is taking place? Something happened with McKenzie. Go downstairs, come back up. We have no. What do we do? How are we this? This is an AFC South division lead game. Turns out it's just graphics. They do that because it's different color. It's like, buddy, we need to know. I feel like the TV networks need to come together and say, hey, this is how we're doing it. Mm-hmm. Now, I would say, though, to the TV and to the networks covering games, I think it's been good this year.
Absolutely.
I think it's been good across the board.
Yeah.
Like Tom, a little early, they started chit-chatting about Tom Brady potentially not being the one, because Greg Olsen is so good. Tony and Jim, not nearly as much heat on them as there has
Tony's
been.
back in his bag.
Bingo. Not nearly as much heat on them as there has been. Joe and Troy, obviously, everybody appreciates the hell out of. Kirk and Al, even though there's some people that have their thoughts about those particular reactions from Al Michaels. Al Michaels just said, this is Al Michaels. It's feels like the networks have gotten more right than wrong this year in the coverage of the game. Now, Tampa, Atlanta, not having a camera on the goal line, I blame the networks because the networks are the feeds that are going in for the review system. So, hey, for the good of ball, let's put a camera down there, networks. But other than that, I feel like it's been good football coverage this year, AJ.
Yeah, it has. I mean, this is crazy that this play, that they don't have a camera in the proper angle to actually figure out exactly what did happen. But one thing that does bug me, I don't know if it happens as much, tell the networks, please don't put anything on the screen yellow if it's not for a flag. Sometimes they'll pop up it's a first down or second down, and they put it up around the little bug, and every time I'm like, all right, oh, no, there's a flag here. Oh, no, here we go. It just says first down or something.
I agree. There was, I think, the Colts local broadcasts, whoever was doing that, they had a yellow 1st and 10 thing. And it was just on the screen. Oh. I think was my couple years ago.
Anything yellow makes me think there's a flag.
Can't have it.
I agree, but it's been good. And these the circles on Amazon,
the mic's been good too. The mics are great. Even my kids ask me, Dad, do they mic everybody up? I'm like, well, the center, the refs, everybody. We can hear a lot of cadence.
And not just cadence. There's been a lot of hot mics. Hot mics happening.
Which is fine. You can handle it. Everybody can handle it.
Agreed. Especially with what the internet is. And if, I'm my daughter, her and I aren't having full conversations with each other yet. She understands stuff, though. So I can feel for parents that say, hey, if you say a naughty word, we have to figure it out. It's how come for civilizations and for generations and generations and generations it was okay, but now it's you can't separate, hey, adults are allowed to do shit, kids are not. Now, I know it's a much different world. And everything like that. But, on the internet now, if anybody's on there, they are seeing and knowing these words. It's not like back in the day where, who'd you hang out with that you learned what that word was, you little bastard? It's you. I heard it from you in this entire thing. It's now they know it. So if one slips by, I'm happy there hasn't been a massive, we apologize for a motherfucker slipping through during a football game. It wasn't supposed to be that way. It's just kind of moving on. I feel like we are getting to a point where everything's a little bit more relaxed.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Some of the players might not love it, because obviously you're I won't say you're a completely different person when you're playing football, but you are. Emotions are high, adrenaline's high, so you could be a face of a business or whatever, or your parent, whatever. You may not want to say certain things, and you score a touchdown, you score some sack, somebody say, hey. You say some shit that you don't want out there, so I can see some players maybe not liking it, but for a fan, it's it almost makes you feel like you're there. You're even more there. In the back of the end zone, the guy scores and they're talking shit, or you hear something in between, snaps or whatever. The mics are great. I can see how some players maybe would not want some things getting out.
Football's doing good right now.
Great
football. Doesn't it? It feels like it's doing good. College ball, we got this weekend, Penn State, Ohio State. AJ, have you thought about it at all, what your expectations are for this game?
Man, it's weird with Ohio State coming off the, narrowly beating Nebraska. People, I think, they're not really sure what to expect. So, but I'm pumped. I have full confidence in Ohio State, though.
Okay, you have full confidence in Ohio State, but people don't know what to expect from them. Are those your thoughts or the people's thoughts around you?
I'm saying the people that I'm around. Everyone is an Ohio State fan, and so wherever I'm at, practices, whatever. People, what do you think of the last game? They ask me specific things, and it's actually good because I get to kind of think out what I get to kind of think about what other people, how they view the program and what's going on and everything. So, but I mean, honestly, is AQ going to be the guest picker? I was hoping he was the guest picker this week, I do feel good about the Buckeyes.
I don't know who the guest picker is. That's what as soon as he said.
I assumed AQ.
I don't know if AQ got the call, but he should have. He certainly should have. There. You said you're at practices. What are the vibes there? Have you been there over the last 2 weeks? Obviously, lose to Oregon. Then
not Ohio State practices. I'm talking 6th grade practices, 1st and 2nd grade practices. Yeah, parents, different people, fans.
You talked to the general though, right? You talked to the general.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's at practice. What are his thoughts and Schlegel's thoughts on the vibes over there with a Ryan Day-led team that I think with the amount of money that was spent on the roster, obviously you bring Chip Kelly in, old friend of Ryan Day, to run the offense. Ryan Day's just kind of managing things. That Oregon game's tough. Obviously very close game on the road early in the season. Still have everything in front of you. Nebraska off the what's happening here? You know, what's happening here is the question. But Nebraska just came off an ass beating too, so they're going to show up with their best football. I don't think Ohio State fans care about that, but I think that's a very real situation, especially with this Nebraska team this year as opposed to maybe in recent history. What is the vibes you think around the Ohio State team? They know that this year is a championship or bust year, I assume?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think they know this game that's kind of this is it. This is kind of like a make or break situation where now we figure out what team. Like I think Penn State is probably in a similar spot. Like, hey, we get to figure out who we truly are in a big test against Ohio State. And I think Ohio State, fans probably feel the same way. Like, here we go. If we go out there and we go get a huge road victory at Penn State, maybe that'll kind of catapult them and give them the, the momentum they've been looking for.
Stefon Diggs, how many losses will a team be able to have from the Big Ten or the SEC and still make the 12-team playoff, you think? We've been chatting about 3 all year.
Yeah.
It's like there's a chance a team with 3 losses from the Big Ten or the SEC is going to be ranked high enough and sneak in a 12-team playoff, and then that's going to be the debate going forward. Last year, it was, does Florida State deserve to be in on their third-string quarterback, or does Alabama deserve to be in with the loss after winning the SEC, beating Georgia, yada, 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 all that stuff. This year, it's going to be, you're telling us a team who had 3 losses during the year is allowed to play for a national championship, but not a team that lost 1 game in a Power 4, like, because the ACC and the Big 12 are being viewed differently. Tone, what are your thoughts on the conversation around that, and what do you think is realistic at the end of it all?
I did think at one point that there would be a 3-loss team from either the SEC or the Big Ten. The more I watch the Big Ten, I feel like there's less of a chance that there even will be a 3-loss team from the Big Ten because of the way that the schedules shake up. Like Oregon, they have the games that they have left. Like they got Michigan on the road, and that's about it. And Michigan's not even great. And then they have the Big Ten championship. Like Penn State really has just Ohio State, and Ohio State has really just Penn State and then Michigan. Like I don't think there's a chance any of those teams will get to 3 losses, but I still I think the Big Ten will get 3 teams, 3 or maybe even potentially 4 teams with IU. Like the way that that's shaping up is insane.
Yeah.
Like there's a chance that IU, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon all have 1 loss. Like that, that's a real situation. And in that situation, I think all those teams would have to get in the Big Ten. The better chance is an SEC team that has 3 losses because they still have a lot of games against each other where they could end up like Tennessee, Bama, A&M. They could all end up with 3 losses.
Yeah, and you think about Texas.
Texas,
I mean, just like the cannibalism potential of the SEC is real deal, especially if you look at like Texas A&M right now.
Yeah.
Texas A&M and LSU were at the top of the SEC. That's why that game was so big.
Yeah.
It's like everybody had forgotten about them. We got Tennessee, we got Georgia, we got Texas. Obviously, everybody thought Alabama was going to be able to go. Nobody thought about Texas A&M and LSU were at the top of that thing. And if they win it, they're taking up a spot. So what are you going to do with all the other spots?
Correct.
It's like that Texas A&M walkout video. Did you see it, AJ?
Electric.
Oh, yeah. And I would assume they had recruits towards the back walking out, right behind the team, too. Can you imagine not committing right there? If you weren't committed to the squad, like, I'd be like, oh, yeah, Coach, I think I'll commit tonight.
I thought about Coach Elko, what his body, heart, everything, as he's just walking out in front of that team, the way he was walking. And it's like the 108,000 plus go, oh, oh, oh. Like, that is such a great chant that I haven't really, they obviously have had to do it over the last few years, but everybody being on board. And then there was like a clacking sound because obviously they have the military at the beginning of it. This was beautifully orchestrated.
It's fire.
It's like you got to figure it out right there. And I think it legitimately, you're walking out there like a gladiator. I think it gets you ready for a football game too. It's not like a distraction. It's not like bullshit. Like I was thinking about how they had to feel. You're ready for war, I assume, in that moment, AJ. Legitimately.
Look at that tunnel. I mean, look how long that tunnel is too, and with the lights and everything going on. Like, man, as soon as you get out of that tunnel, it has to be unbelievable to see the crowd and to see them all on their feet too.
Okay, let's go, boys. Yeah, LSU's going to walk in here and beat us, huh? Okay. And look at the little hop two-step here from Coach Elko whenever you – boom.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Not a bad little skip to my Lou there from Coach Elko. But Texas A&M with Marcel Reed at quarterback, it's like, why not them in the SEC? There is –
you got to compete with that shit. Like, you any program, like, obviously everybody got their own thing. LSU got their run out. Clemson, every different program has their thing. But you see everybody start to level up, and these social media teams getting better. Tennessee put out a promo with the black jerseys. They had to
invest in that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's a lot of money to make that animation happen.
Sick.
Yeah. That's like real animation there.
Do you think there will be a conversation, like if you pull up that graphic again of what the college football playoff will be, like if BYU gets the first round bye and they're the 4 seed and they just get blown out, do you think there'll be a conversation about like, hey,
next year,
absolutely the top 4 seeds need to, get a bye, but should there be some sort of qualification change with like the highest conference champion or no?
So what if the 5th highest seeded champion too, the Power 5 champion or whatever, is higher ranked than one of the P4 ones, then they end up getting the bye as opposed to the P4 champion who is then out. I think maybe there will be a convo about that, but if these teams get smoked by an SEC or Big Ten school, the conversation is going to be, is this really a 12-team playoff for everybody, or is this a 4-team playoff for everybody else, and it's an 8-team for the SEC in the Big Ten? I think there's going to be a lot of things we're going to have to navigate as we go forward.
I mean, it happens in the NFL. Like, what was it? The NFC East had like 7 and 8 or a team, and they obviously had home field advantage, and they got blown out by somebody or whatever. Now they didn't get a bye, so that is a different situation. But yeah, I mean, this year it is different, like because a lot of people don't obviously see BYU as a team.
Good football team.
Great football team. Great football team. But the Big 12 this year, they don't have that powerhouse team or whatever. That's a coin flip league. That's it's a great league. A lot of depth in that league, as we've said.
Thank you. They didn't say that on game.
But it's not going to be. It's not going to be like that every year.
No.
Nico Mozzarella.
That first round of games is absolutely incredible.
It is.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's going to be electrifying. College football is delivered. You know what else is off and running?
What's that?
The NBA.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it is.
How are the Boston Celtics doing?
I mean, you tell me, is no losses good?
Undefeated, okay?
Yeah, I think so.
So since you guys won the title, you have not lost?
We have yet to lose in the last, 8 months.
How many Olympic gold medals are over there?
3.
How many are proud of it?
None.
What's that all about? Representing the United States of America?
Well, I mean, some things are bigger than basketball, and revenge is one of them.
Basketball is happening right now in a big way. Joining us, ladies and gentlemen, senior NBA insider at ESPN, friend of the program.
Oh, yeah.
Shams Charania.
Yeah,
How you doing, Shams?
Pat, what's up? I have to say it's Halloween coming up in a couple days, and I love the little kid all over the interwebs that had the suit on like you.
Sick.
So I think that might be the costume of the year.
Well, no. Let's not have a lot of people doing that. But that kid was awesome. That was a very cool moment. I appreciate that. I became a Halloween costume after I got arrested for public intoxication in 2010.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little different now than it was then. It's good. These ones are seemingly a little bit more positive response as opposed to the negative. So I am honored and appreciative. And there's some young kids doing some. I heard a little girl on the internet who was dressed up like me. What's that coming down the track? Whole thing.
Ooh. Love that.
Whole thing.
That's great.
Wearing
impressive.
I need to see this one. I missed this one. I missed that one.
It was phenomenal. These kids these days. These brains on these kids.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Halloween's amazing. Shams, how is the NBA going? Are we off to a great start? Would Adam Silver say that? Or what's the conversation about the NBA right now? I saw LeBron had a bad shooting night last night. I saw that. That's not good. How is the NBA start to the season, Shams?
I mean, Lakers, Suns, they're off to 3-1 starts. Oklahoma City Thunder have been off to a stellar start. They look like champion championship contenders. Boston Celtics, BC Celtics, they look like they're right on track. Then you have a few teams that are somewhat disappointing, whether you think about Milwaukee, Denver, they got to get their stuff in order as well. So I think when you look at the league right now, where Adam Silver's league is right now, it's a lot of parity. You look at both conferences, you have about 6-7 teams that genuinely feel like they're competing for a championship, and we'll see where they end up come playoff time.
Okay, obviously, the Boston Celtics are different than everybody else.
That's right.
This is kind of what happened last year. Everybody's like, we'll talk about the Boston Celtics whenever we get to the playoff because they're better than anybody. Then you didn't talk about the Boston Celtics in playoffs. So that led to Boston Celtics fans and players saying, they don't even acknowledge us.
Yeah, ever.
And we're the best team in basketball. We would like to let the Boston Celtics fans know we have a masshole on the team.
And I got the trophy.
And he will talk a lot. Now, there's some questions, though. Is there not about the Celtics?
Shams still undefeated, but we are playing without Kristaps Porzingis. Now, I do think that the NBA doesn't want him to play just because if he does, then the Celtics are going to win every game by 40-plus points, and that's not very fun for anybody. But what is his status right now, and is he going to be back January like we were saying before the season, or where is he at with his injury?
The Celtics are targeting December, from what I'm told, for Kristaps Porzingis and his return. And there was video I was seeing last night of him warming up before the game. He has not progressed to contact yet. But BC, if you're watching this video, you're probably licking your chops. Mm-hmm. You're getting ready for Kristaps Porzingis to be back in the lineup. He looks really, really good. And I think if this wasn't a Celtics team that has the best starting lineup to me in the NBA, they've got the number one starting five in the league, for sure. If they didn't have that, if they didn't have the luxury of being where they're at now, maybe you're a little bit more pressed to bring KP back. But they have the luxury of having to be patient. They can wait. They don't necessarily need to rush him back at all. If it ends up taking until January, it takes until January. But right now, they're targeting December. It could even be earlier, but right now they're really focused on that month. He has to progress to contact. And when I'm told this is where his return will be based on, the Celtics have a program for him. Essentially, once he's hit the metrics on his body, his different body parts and different elements, they're essentially measuring parts of his body. And once, whether it's his calf, his leg, his knee, his, all the lower
all legs, all knees.
Nice.
Just lower body?
NBA.
He just had this kind of traumatic leg injury. Essentially, once his body and those muscle groups are all balanced, and he's hit those thresholds, he will be cleared for return. But the Celtics will be patient. They'll want to make sure he's 100% healthy. Until he reaches those metrics, he won't be back. But they're very optimistic that will be at some point.
Yeah, a group of Caucasian dudes in that conversation is obviously going to take it a certain way. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's 100% honest. But thank you for clarifying what Porzingis has to do to pass. His body parts have to pass a program.
Sure.
And then once
they've got metrics on all these muscle groups in his body.
Oh, really?
Once he reaches those metrics, he will be cleared for return.
How's
that
the
is
blood
the program
pumping?
I'm
How are they all hanging?
Good luck, brother.
Yeah.
Well is the answer.
Yeah, I'd assume. Good luck to Porzingis on all these metrics, on all body parts.
That's right. Get him back to 110%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Maybe. Speaking of body parts, we're resting them, apparently. Go ahead, D-Butt.
Yeah, speaking of getting to 110%, Joel Embiid started off the season. Obviously, we know what he did this offseason, won a gold medal with Team USA, but haven't shown up, hasn't played yet. I heard there's been some type of investigation going on with the NBA, with the Sixers. What's going on with that, Shams?
The investigation is ongoing. I would expect a result at some point here in the near future. There's really two sides of this, DB. One is the Joel Embiid side, which is that he has never had a healthy playoff run, and he's always gotten hurt come playoff time. And this is really a new strategy the Sixers and Joel Embiid are taking on, which is essentially, and I reported this plenty of times, this is the new normal for Joel Embiid. Periodic time off over the course of the season. He's going to routine checkups on his knee, his foot, any other body part that acts up. And that will be a part of the season for him. On the other hand, from the NBA perspective, there's no specific injury that the Sixers have cited. So when you think about Kawhi Leonard, when you think about Chris Middleton, Kawhi Leonard has a serious right knee inflammation issue. Chris Middleton is coming off double ankle surgeries. And so there are specific injuries that you can define. They're black and white. Here in this Joel Embiid situation, the Sixers have said there's no injury here. He's actually lost 20, 25 pounds. He's in great shape. There's no re-injury.
Sure.
So from the NBA's perspective and people around the league is What's the issue with Joel Embiid? He just is not in shape. He hasn't practiced or played all training camp. So it would be malpractice if the Sixers threw him out there. It would lead to injury. But the other side is he hasn't played. In my opinion, just looking at the situation, clearly this is where Joel Embiid feels like he needs to be in order to be healthy come playoff time. And let's see. That's when he needs to be healthy. That's when the Sixers need him to be healthy. But there is a flip side to all this, and that's the league's perspective and everyone that inhabits the league office.
Yeah, because he's a big star. He's a big star. He's a United States American gold medalist.
Former league MVP, all NBA player, gold medalist. He is one of the elite names in the NBA. He's one of the elite players in the NBA, a guy that obviously fans want to see.
Godspeed, Embiid. Like to see you out there.
Good luck.
Love to see you out there.
We want to see Joel Embiid healthy come playoff time, though, right? Like, we want to see him, PG, and Maxey. I don't know about BC. BC might be ready for the challenge, though.
BC thinks the Celtics are just going to stomp everybody. No, he doesn't know about these Pacers who are getting hot. Okay,
Pacers that the Celtics swept last year.
We'll see you on Wednesday night. Okay, we'll see you on Wednesday night. But last night, Pacers obviously had a situation. AJ, if you would like to ask Shams a question, pal.
Shams, yeah, the former Duke star Paolo Banchero, he goes for 50. Are we looking at another face of the league here, and is this going to continue on this hot streak?
Paolo Banchero is 1,000% one of the young faces of the NBA. I mean, this guy is an all-around star. He became the youngest player since LeBron James to have this stat line: 50 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. What he was able to do last night, I mean, he is a star right now. He's on the rise. And I think when you think about his all-around game, he's one of the best players in the NBA when you think about the forward position. And I think when you think about Orlando, Banchero, Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, they just gave a $150.5 million contract extension to. Franz Wagner's on a max deal. This is Orlando we're talking about. Paolo Banchero is the next player that they're going to have to shell a lot of money out to very, very soon. He is their face. He's their cornerstone, and he's certainly one of the young faces of the NBA.
Banchero, you're saying multiple times, trying to tell us it's not Banchero, I do believe, which we appreciate. Congrats to Paulo on having a hell of a night. Only 12 in the second half, I think. Yeah. Okay, just
locked out. I got to push him more. Well, I feel like we don't hear enough about him. Number 1 pick.
Orlando, right? That's
right. But damn, he's been he was good. He's been good since stepping foot in his league.
Sweet name.
Well, they called him. What was it? They called him Pat Mahomes at that FG1 race.
Yeah, I think last night was the most famous he's been since they mistook him for Pat Mahomes.
Well, way to go, Paulo.
Oh, yeah, Paulo.
Hey, Paulo. Speaking of faces of the NBA, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Shams, just curious, what has the reaction around the NBA been to the Starting Five documentary? Because watching that, we loved the quarterback documentary on Netflix, and I think, obviously diehard basketball fans will love it, but I think even casual fans, the access you get from that is incredible. What has been the reaction, and are more guys looking to maybe potentially do that?
Yeah, I mean, when I talk to teams, they're certainly watching. People are certainly watching because you are getting this behind the scenes look. You see Ant Edwards leaving a game, and his kid he has a kid, and his girl is going into labor. You have Jimmy Butler. They showed some pretty emotional scenes where he's dealing with his sick father who ended up passing away. You have all these behind-the-scenes footages. Jason Tatum, the behind-the-scenes of him winning a championship. And then LeBron James, we don't usually see him in this documentary format. So people are certainly watching. But Pat, guys, Ty, I actually have news for you guys. So we know the Season 1 cast. It was LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, DeMontis Sabonis, Jimmy Butler. Mm-hmm. The Season 2 cast I do have. I have it confirmed for you guys.
Okay.
Starting 5. Season 2, Netflix. Kevin Durant.
What?
James Harden.
Whoa.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh.
DC's guy, Jaylen Brown. Number 4. And number 5, this is the one that I know is going to get the Thunderdome amped up and ready to go. Tyrese Halliburton.
Let's go! Not
is
Luka
the final member of the Starting 5 on Netflix Season 2. They are taping. Again, this is produced by LeBron James's company, Spring Hill, Barack Obama's company, Higher Ground, and Peyton Manning's company, Omaha Productions. They are leading the productions of this show for Netflix, and that is the Starting 5. I don't know if we've ever seen Kevin Durant in this space or James Harden, 2 very private players and people, and now we got Jaylen Brown in the mix. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander having his come out party, and Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of attention for Tyrese Halliburton in Indy. He was on the Olympic team. Now he's on starting 5 on Netflix season 2.
Listen, if I can get to learn about the Durantula off the court, I'm in. James Harden, yeah, absolutely. I'd like to know a little bit more about, because whenever he walked out of that hotel with Lil Baby, I believe, and they ran into that paparazzi, and he had the same look on his face that I have a couple times when I've walked out of potential meetings or something like that and didn't expect people to be there in the state of mind that I'm in. Became a big fan. Tyrese Halliburton, electrifying. Like, he's a wrestling fan, so obviously he has an entertaining personality. And then Jaylen Brown. What are you mad about? Why'd you thumbs down?
No, I'm pumped about it, very much so. We just got Tatum as well. It's kind of like, hey, I don't want to force feed everyone the Celtics. I think Jaylen Brown's probably. He's gonna.
Who's going to be more entertaining is what I want to know. Who's going to be the more entertaining one? Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum?
Yeah, James Harden.
Between those two?
Are they following him in the offseason too or just regular season? Because James
they
Harden
just started taping to
matter.
start the season.
I think James Harden basketball.
Season up until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying James Harden doesn't know if it's off season?
No,
that's 365, brother.
Make sure you're with him when they got a road trip in Houston.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would like James Harden's the one I'm most intrigued about. I would like that. Now, the Durantula, given some, like I've heard when we went down to Texas for the football team, I went over to the basketball facility that I think he donated, like a massive piece of it too. Talked to the equipment manager down there, and they talked about some of the workouts that Kevin Durant does. And it's not like how many made threes. It's like the sound of the net with the ball going through it in a row. Like, I want to hear that pop like 50 straight times. And if he gets like 40 straight, stops. If it's like 41 and there's like a little clank of it, it's like, start it again. Like, his work ethic, I guess, is just absurd. I assume everybody that's a professional athlete. You would think, you would hope.
Him off the court too. His business moves.
Yeah, he's got to be a billionaire close to it with everything he's got going on. Thank you for allowing the access, Mr. KD and James Harden.
Hopefully they show how SGA puts together his Instagram captions, because that's like another big thing is he does these like sick raps on Instagram.
Like
for
Cam
his
Newton?
captions. No, way cooler. And
I don't know.
Yeah,
he's got his own language.
If you pull up, so does SGA, and they come in the form of bars.
Well, yeah, it's Canadian. They have their own language.
No, there's.
Are we going to get the behind the scenes of when the shout out to 50 Cent was taped, or
what up?
Hopefully they're there.
Be part of this.
Happy birthday, Fifth. Is that what you're talking about? Happy birthday, Fifth. Is that what you're?
There's a few videos out there. I don't know which one, but
okay,
we're going to get a lot of behind the scenes.
Big Puma.
We're going to get a lot of behind the scenes. Big Puma deal. Shout outs to 50 Cent. Indy's popping right now. It's
jungle.
Yeah, bub, it is. All right, let's talk. Congrats on Netflix having another season. That'll be interesting, too, because I think the names are what drive the interest. Those are massive names. Can't wait to watch it. Congrats to all parties. Can't wait to learn. Stefon Diggs has a question about a big name.
Shams, another massive name. Steph went down with a lower body. What's the update on Steph? When's he going to be back? Is it serious? What are we dealing with?
Yeah, this body part is the ankle/foot. It's called the peroneal strain. Yeah. Essentially a foot-ankle issue around his ankle, around his foot, kind of a tendon situation. He's dealing with some swelling. He's dealing with pain. And so he's got to manage that, get that mobility back in that ankle foot. He's going to be reevaluated on Friday. But around him, the sense is this could be an injury that goes about a week, and that would put him at early next week, maybe up to 2 weeks. That's the sense around the injury itself. But the Warriors and Stephen Curry, they're just taking this day by day. They want to see how he feels, how he's managing that swelling. And they're going to be cautious. It's still very early in the season. You don't want to rush Stephen Curry back on the floor. They have a 5-game road trip that they're going to start this weekend from November 2 to November 10. And once that period starts and is underway, you don't really want to rush him out there for a 1-game or 2-game stint. You want him to get right early in the year. He is dealing with some pain and some swelling. Once that subsides, we'll see Stephen Curry return. But the good news is there was nothing major here. There was no major damage to that ankle or that foot, just something he does have to manage over the next few days, week or so.
Okay, I think we went down briefly there on ESPN. We remain live on YouTube. We had a little bit of a power surge because what you were talking about was so damn great, Shams.
Mm-hmm.
We need you talking more, pal. We need you. You sent a power surge through the Thunderdome, I do believe.
Yeah.
And ESPN rack went down. It popped back up. We are live. That is good news, but we certainly are now live in a commercial I think they went to. We remain live on YouTube, which is obviously... How's that work?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the way it's set up, actually, you see there's a feed here, and then there's a feed there, and then there's multiple feeds there, and then they have their thing, and then we have our thing, and then our thing and their thing sometimes don't dance, especially when a power surge comes through named Shams Charania, and it breaks it apart.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're able to redo it. Shams, too much power out of you. And for Steph Curry, can't wait to see him back. NBA season going to be great, it feels like, right? Is there going to be moves, or do you think this is going to be a season where a lot of big-time players are going to end up changing teams, or no?
I mean, there are players that teams have their eye on, right? When you think about two players that could become free agents this offseason, that's Brandon Ingram, that's Jimmy Butler. Where are their futures at? Ingram has this season left on his deal. He's going to be a free agent potentially. He did not extend with the Pelicans. What does that lead for his future? Right now, he's in New Orleans. They want to see how him, DeJounte Murray, Zion Williamson, and that team, CJ McCollum, how that team looks this year before they make any judgments. And then on the other side, Jimmy Butler, he's got a player option for next season. And any player going into the last year of his deal with a player option, you're either going to do an extension, which he's not going to do as of right now in Miami, or it's going to work. It's going to work out, and then you just go into free agency. Or if it doesn't work out, could they look for a move? So those dominoes, all we'll see where they land over the next few months. And then there's going to be other players that pop up. But definitely, as far as the trade market, those are two names we just have to keep an eye on over the course of the season.
Hell yeah, we can't thank you enough. How you enjoying your time as senior NBA insider, pal?
Figuring it all out, but one thing I know is I can always come on here and we can break some bread and have some conversation.
We appreciate you making time for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we appreciate you making time for us. We know the schedule is hectic during the NBA season. The fact that you're still able to join us while being a part of the ESPN NBA crew, we're very thankful for. Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, Shams, any update on the D. Wade statue? Are they going to tear that thing down and build a new one?
I think Dwayne Wade was very, very involved with the statue, and I don't think that they're going to do anything with it. I think he was very involved. I think both sides signed off on it, and I think that's where they're going to move forward with, is that statue. Okay. But, I think it's interesting. When you look at it, does it look exactly like him? Of course not. But, this is a
if you look
statue
deeper,
in
though,
5,
doesn't
10,
look anything like
15 years.
He looks like him.
I mean, if
like in 5, 10, 15 years, it's gonna blend.
Oh, they did 50-year-old D. Wade.
Yeah, so this
it'll
is for the
blend
future.
in.
Got it. It was a future sculpt.
No, but it'll just blend in. It'll just be nice, and you'll see. Statues are meant to age. As far as you look at it, 20, 30, 40 years from now, this is going to be something that we're going to see.
Right, that's the thing is statues don't age.
That salt water in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean.
So they're not going to power wash this thing? They're not going to power wash the dust off of this thing? You think it's going to... Anyways, if you look closely, you can see it in the eyes.
It looks like D-Wade. It looks like D-Wade. If you look a little close.
Yeah, he's got a jersey on.
That's his jersey.
Yeah, I've seen a old picture that kind of looks.
I've seen him put this too.
Yeah, for sure.
That represents a moment in time, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw him on Today's Show. Did a one-on-one interview.
Nice. That's right.
He said, bring babies out of the hospital, bring them a statue. Get engaged right in front of the statue.
Yeah.
Get married right in front of the statue. Wouldn't this be a place of celebration? Because that's what the Miami Heat, kind of.
Shout out to D Wade, DB. Shout out to D Wade.
Hell yeah, Flash.
Yeah, of course.
That's our guy, man. Best player in the world in 2006. Obviously, Heatles, part of the Heatles. One of the favorite athletes I grew up watching. So shout out to 3 for sure.
Hey, way to go, Dwayne. You deserve it.
He's happy about the statue. He talked about it since.
Him and his boy didn't look too happy when they first unveiled it.
That was a private conversation between their eyes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only thing that really looks like him is the eyes of the statue. But moving forward, we think that he will grow into looking more like it, which is why statues are forever.
Exactly.
We appreciate you, Shams. You're the man.
Appreciate y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania.
Yeah,
Okay, we have some news out of the NFL. First, in the Houston Texans organization, it is official. Stefon Diggs suffered a season-ending knee injury. Now, it was a non-contact injury. Anytime you hear that, obviously you know something bad probably happened. Very rarely is it like, oh, it was something minor when it was a non-contact injury being kind of reported. So Stefon Diggs, Godspeed on recovery. That is not cool. Obviously, they make a big move, bring Stefon Diggs into Houston, force C.J. Stroud to have another weapon. Nico Collins gets hurt early in the season. They've had a lot of guys banged up. Now Stefon Diggs out for the rest of the year. I thought this Texans team could go and run with the way they were built. Losing Stefon Diggs is a big blow. That is a big blow, Adrian.
Yeah, it's obviously huge. You can't replace a guy like Stefon Diggs, but yeah, you know, the NFL next man up. Someone's gonna have to step up and make plays, and you know, a little bit more even on the quarterback knows, hey, here we go. I got to figure this thing out without my superstar receiver.
Yeah, it's the trade deadline's still a week away.
Yeah,
It is.
You think Houston tries to make a move here? Deontay Johnson's available. You think they try to make a play? What are your thoughts?
I can see it. Why not? You know, you got Joe Mixon, who's healthy, who's running the hell out of the ball. Obviously, you got C.J. Stroud. Why not go all in, strike while the iron's hot? Try to go on the run here. Losing Stefon, he's huge, obviously, on the field, but I would imagine that locker room as well. Always brings a bunch of emotion, plays hard. And personally, I think he was on pretty much a contract year, too.
Yeah, 1 year deal.
So I absolutely hate that for Stefon. So Godspeed to his recovery.
As someone who watched a lot of Deontay, now he's not Stefon Diggs, but he is that type of receiver that runs incredible routes. He's not the speed guy that's going to take it over the top, but he can get over the top. He's very similar to Stefon Diggs in how they play, so it would be a good fit.
Caserio has made moves.
Absolutely.
Casario's not scared to make moves. I think that's just how he's going to be. It's not even like we're in a window because C.J. Stroud's young and he's good. We rookie contract on our quarterback who's very good, but I think that's going to be how Caserio runs a team. I think he's just like Bean. I think they're going to be like, we are going to try to make our team better, just like Veach has been.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, Veach and Andy Reid made the decision to move on from Alex Smith after an almost MVP year for Patrick Mahomes, and then they bring in weapons. I'm excited to see how Caserio handles this situation. We were trying to connect currently. Oh, never mind. Schefter, we're trying to call Schefter, say like, hey, are they going to look for a trade now? Well, obviously, Godspeed was Stefon Diggs, but now he's finding his spot in his house.
I know they won.
Senior NFL insider for ESPN, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter. Shefty, we appreciate you answering here. The Stefon Diggs news out of Houston is obviously a bummer if you're a Texans fan and a football fan as a whole. When it was reported as a non-contact injury, we assumed the worst. Now it has come out to be true. Does this mean the Texans are going to try to make a move before trade deadline day, November 5th, at wide receiver, or how do you see this working out?
Well, first of all, you hope Stefon Diggs is okay. And I don't know that I've heard the Texans linked to very many wide receivers. I think they still could. Nico Collins is going to be on IR for another week. They still have Tank Dell. They still have Robert Woods. They still have John Mechie. They still have other wide receivers. But you obviously lose a big-time weapon in Stefon Diggs, who was in the last year of his contract. You hope he gets well by the time he becomes a free agent. But obviously a big blow for him having the torn ACL. And the Texans, again, I haven't heard them linked. We kind of knew that this was what it was. You're just waiting for somebody to confirm that he was going to be out for the year. And D'Amico Ryans told reporters, 5-10 minutes ago, that he tore his ACL. He's out for the year.
Yeah, you said some troubling signs here. Not a lot of responses whenever we're asking how the injury is, which is very standard as people respond, go, we think it's going to be better, we're getting tests or whatever. Instead, you kind of got ghosted in that, and you said that's a troubling sign yesterday. That comes to fruition today. Godspeed, Stefon. Godspeed, Stefon Diggs. Now, you broke some other news as well. Indianapolis Colts are going with a quarterback change. Joe Flacco will be starting this weekend instead of Anthony Richardson. This comes fresh off a day of every person that's been involved with the NFL saying that a quarterback can't tap out. That's just not how it works. You can maybe if you're strained or injured, but just to say you're out of breath and to tap out of a game, that is obviously something you're not looking for in a guy to lead a program in a franchise. They've talked about a lot of his stats. I think Anthony Richardson is a very good football player at times, but he is young. He's going to make mistakes. There's been drops too, so his completion percentage, which has been talked about a lot ad nauseum as being a potential historically NFL bad completion percentage. I think there's some more to context to that story, but ultimately, why do you think this decision was made to go to Joe Flacco? And what are you hearing from the Colts organization, who I am not talking to because I don't want to know? And what I said yesterday, I think they're, who knows how they took it and how they heard it, because it's the first time I've ever said something like that about the Indianapolis Colts. Colts fans are pissed off at me for even saying it. Now Joe Flacco's a quarterback. What are you hearing from the building, Shefty?
You know what? You know what the amazing part about this is this morning I got a call that this was happening. And I reached out to a couple of people to confirm. And I spoke to some people on other teams. And when I said, hey, my sense is that they're benching Anthony Richardson, the reaction I got from some very smart people was like, of course they're benching him. Like it wasn't even an option.
Okay.
That, I mean, I couldn't believe how strong people were. And so when I heard that, I'm like, okay, this is happening. This is happening. And, you're waiting for confirmation. They met as an organization this morning to go over it. They obviously broke up those meetings. My understanding is that they have informed each quarterback. And now the move has been made. And it's a seismic move on a lot of levels because you're benching the former 3rd overall pick who now becomes the 2nd quarterback in that draft class to be benched, Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick, now Anthony Richardson. And yes, Pat, I do think it has to do with the tap out. Now, I don't know that. We'll get further comments. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay.
Here we go, Lions.
Whoa.
Here we go,
whoa.
Lions.
No.
Lions.
That didn't sound good.
So, I think it's a case where...
What? Hold on. Let's not worry about Joe Flacco. Oh boy. What something just something just happened in your life. Something just happened. What happened?
I'm about to get a flu shot and they're ready for me.
Oh, that's what it is?
What?
Oh, boy.
That's what it is.
Bullshit, Shefty.
Oh, what is it?
You're a bad liar, Shefty.
Oh, boy. What was the boy?
You know what? Anthony Richardson should learn something like that. Like, hey, as I said, I got something stuck in my contact lens.
Oh, you lied.
Okay.
What is the oh boy? That sounded bad.
Yeah.
Oh boy sounded bad. That sounded very serious there. What happened?
Again, I'm talking to you guys. I can't really, I'm kind of,
Scroll up. It's easy. It's easy.
Confirm it.
Hit the bottom of the phone. Move your thumb up to the top of the phone. Okay, so that'll move the FaceTime up out of the way. Then there's a messages thing. Just hit that, and I think at the top there'll be.
Read it out loud.
Hey, again.
Oh, I see. I know.
Massive stories.
Know what it is?
The Colts benching your quarterback, Pat. That's a big deal. That's a big.
Oh boy.
What's the one you got?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep our eye on Adam Schefter's Twitter account to see what happens.
Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Shefty.
What was that?
What
Oh boy.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
No.
Start guessing.
What happened?
I don't know because it was
that
like
could have been
bad.
something like at his house. That could have been something.
But he had to see it in the preview of a text, right? Like it had to how did it already hit?
Notification pops up, person, and then what? First 6 words, 7 words.
Mm-hmm.
I look like a coach.
Someone
that's
got
what it
hurt
felt like.
practice.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like good news.
Yeah, it was
Like a random firing or somebody or a terrible injury.
Tepper burned down that restaurant.
No. Tepper's doing good for Western Carolina.
You never
Remember that. Tepper's doing good. We got to remember that. He did that. We can't.
Are most teams off today?
Tuesdays, yeah.
Jets are practicing, though.
Jets Thursday Night Football. Yeah.
This is the day.
Oh, boy.
Which is why we didn't have Aaron on today. They're working right now. This is a work day. They get the Houston Texans on Thursday night. News about Stefon Diggs comes out like 10 minutes before, Schefter breaks that news just like within the last 20 minutes. So maybe there's a media, maybe Jets are talking to media.
The Diggs thing now, we were talking about the line for the game on Thursday night. That makes a lot more sense why the Texans are underdogs.
Yeah, Jets favored.
They probably knew.
Isn't that crazy? Jets favored against Houston Texans with everything that's going on.
This Thursday night is exactly what the Jets need. Just get back on the field, play, hopefully get a win. But that is wild. They're favored by.
What do you think the boy? We can't stay on it forever. Okay, we'll watch Schefter's Twitter.
Tough not to.
How about him going, oh Pat? Oh.
Yeah, how he said it.
That was
like,
awesome.
Oh boy. I'm like, is there an elephant outside your car ready to smash you?
Potentially. Then he just said, it's a flu shot. It's like, well, that shot I think is all right. Anyways, you talk about firing or whatever the case is. I don't view that as the move that they did with Anthony Richardson as a firing. I believe this is he's really young. He's been really young. He made an error in a game by making a decision to think it was okay to leave the field as a quarterback that is supposed to lead a team into a very violent sport. It's a tough guy sport. That's what football is. Quarterback position has to be the face of that. Maybe this is just learning lesson. Now let's have you watch Joe again. Like let's kind of, maybe we rolled out too early. We're not there yet. Maybe we'll be able to visit this in the future. I still assume that Shane and Chris and Jim Irsay and all the powers that be think that Anthony Richardson could become a great NFL quarterback. It worked with Jordan Love. He sat for 3 years. Patrick Mahomes sat for 1 full year behind Alex Smith in the building. He was in the building, watching Alex Smith, watching how it played, playing in practice against the defense. Anthony Richardson, we don't even know if he was in a building last year because he got injured week 5.
Yep,
we don't even know if he had a chance to even see what an NFL season is like. Did he get a chance to watch Gardner Minshew, who made the Pro Bowl last year? Got one play away from AFC South Championship home playoff game. It's like, did he even get a chance to experience anything of what life in the NFL is or what an NFL quarterback is last year? Or did that all get taken away because of shoulder surgery? I'm thinking the latter. I'm thinking this year maybe getting a chance to realize what it is like to be an NFL quarterback, what it means to be an NFL quarterback, how you're allowed to operate as an NFL quarterback, and Joe Flacco being the guy you learn from. I think that's not a bad thing. I think this is a good thing, especially if it becomes a learning moment for Anthony Richardson in the future.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks ago. Him being, benched or putting Joe in there, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for him. It's a learning experience. Definitely not ideal, for the organization, for the team. You want ideally for the young quarterback you drafted high to develop, become the face of your franchise, become an all-time great, 10, 15 years, win a couple Super Bowl championships. But how it ends isn't necessarily always connected to how it starts. So for him, you got a guy like Joe Flacco who can play, who can win. And this is a move, I think, for the locker room. Because the locker room, you see it. Obviously, you're talking about what people are talking about on TVs and microphones. But that locker room, you have conversation immediately.
Every player that had a microphone in front of him yesterday,
that's what I'm saying,
said the same thing.
Immediately, it's something you haven't seen. So it is a learning. It's going to be a learning spot for him for sure. And you hope he goes on to grow. But for that locker room, you have a team. You talk about it all the time. You paid a bunch of good players in that locker room. This isn't Max Crosby. Anytime he speaks, he's like, "Hey, I want to be here. I want to win. I'm not here and interested in a rebuild." It's a week-to-week, year-to-year league for these players. So it's a big move. Once again, not ideal. And you got to know everybody's on the same page from ownership on down when you bench, your top 4 picks. So it wasn't just that play. It was also the low completion percentage. And I don't think the film looked great. He wasn't protected under pressure, I think 6% of the time. But going out on Sunday, Joe Flacco gives this team the best chance to win. Now, that's just my opinion. They made the decision. Hopefully he grows and, once again, goes on to be a great quarterback, but I think it was the better move for the Colts right now.
Yeah, I think you just take everything into account. Yesterday, obviously, didn't help, or Sunday didn't help, and then the fallout from it. But you mentioned they paid all these guys. This could be a playoff team. They're good enough to make the playoffs, and Joe Flacco being in there, they've looked better than they have with Anthony Richardson in there. He gives them the best chance to win, and you can't really be in a position, right? We're still early in the season. It's not week 15, you're eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, let's put the young guy in and let him kind of get a bunch of reps. It's we need to go right now, and Flacco gives them the best chance to go right now.
Now, long term, there's going to be people that are going to look back and say, you could have given Anthony Richardson more reps, with that team. It's this team is what years are we trying to win? What years are we not trying to win?
What game?
Just so I know when we're trying to win, when we're not trying to win. When one position is not ready, but everybody else is ready, is that the years we're not trying to win? But then when what do these contracts look like? It's this team was
the Diggs situation now too.
They had to tell him he's still part of. Hey, you're still the future. I'm sure they told him, hey, your career's not over in Indy. We still expect you to be our guy.
I hope so. These Colts fans were mad at me yesterday for not defending them, and it's we were just pointing out how everybody in football feels about it.
And here we are.
Legit.
And now you see how the team feels.
And now this is, exactly. And they have more invested than any of us.
Exactly.
Still believe in AR long term. Good chance to learn, though.
Yeah.
We'll continue to roll on YouTube and ESPN Plus. We'll see you tomorrow. Wow, got that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. What the hell was Schefter talking about?
Has he not done anything yet?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna call him. Maybe I lied to him until we're not on air.
Does he do that for every kind of news he breaks? Does he have that reaction?
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
His
I'm about to bust.
That was
hey,
your
we're off
sense?
air. We're off air. What was it? That'd be so terrible. If I did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would.
I'm not going to do that.
It's me, you.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Hey, we're still on air. We are still on air.
And I'm still driving.
Well, hey, listen. Are you going to break that oh boy news today? Should we be on the lookout for something?
I'm trying. I'm waiting, but it's not ready yet. But it's gonna go. It's gonna happen.
Okay, so there's oh boy news happening at some point today.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. You never know with things.
Oh boy, this
throw it out
guy
there.
stinks. What are you? You said, "Oh boy." I mean, that was a big reaction.
Twice.
Well, listen. Oh, boys. It's a busy league. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, boys.
And that's what I got for you right now.
Oh, boy. Easter egg. Oh, Easter egg.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where were you last week?
All right. Okay,
What?
Shefty. I'm done with him. Where was I last week?
Is he talking
He's talking
about
about Devontae, I think.
Devontae.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Let him to the water.
Boy.
Let him to the water.
Oh, boy.
Whew.
Shefty needs to do more eyeball emoji tweets.
It's got to be a big deal, though. It's got to be something big. It can't be the old, can't be catfishing us.
Yeah, it's not a flu shot.
I mean, yeah,
It's got to be bigger than a benching, too.
Yeah, because he was talking about the benching and immediately stops. Who cares?
It wouldn't be an injury. There's no way it's an injury, is it?
It's a big trade or a fire coach. Has to be.
That's what I'm thinking.
Fire coach would be who could get fired?
Saleh got fired on Tuesday, right?
He said
But that was
Which team?
He
What about
said
the Giants?
He said boys.
Yeah. Oh, boys. Cowboys.
Oh, no, he did say boys.
Oh, maybe that was a slip. One of those.
Yeah, Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones fired those two radio guys.
That's
Shan-
huge.
Shan
RJ. Maybe.
I hope not.
Listen, you know how these fucking things go? I don't know if anybody told you. I sent in the questions. They are approved. You're welcome. You ask them. I get the fuck on my way. Okay? We don't need you guys thinking over there. You put those headphones on, get in front of a microphone, you fucking say what we talked about.
That's it.
I can get some new ones in here.
I'm not joking.
Oh, it's funny? You think it's fun? I'm not joking. I'll fucking shut down the whole goddamn radio station. You guys know how much you're worth right now? Nothing. Radio. Fucking nothing. Dallas, better than most places. Pittsburgh, better than most places. I'll shut it down, and it'll just be 24/7 Jerry Jones clips.
Huh?
Is that what you want?
I'll do this fucking show.
Cowboys are in an interesting spot, bro.
Yeah.
They're not.
They keep losing games.
It's not a good spot.
Yeah, their schedule is very difficult moving forward.
And it's all on Prime. We're going to watch it.
You're going to see them all.
And we're going to watch all of it.
Might be cooked.
Every decision Mike McCarthy makes, we see it.
Magnified.
And then you got a commentator, either Tom Brady the GOAT on it, or somebody else saying, "This is the." I don't think you should.
Not a good choice.
Well, Tom's not allowed to do that.
Oh yeah, because he's an owner, he can't criticize. I think he's done a good job. I do wonder, like 10 years in, what it's going to be like when he can't be around the building and he's kind of removed from the game. You know, because he's been in the building for 20 plus years now. But what about 10 years from now? Will he be?
He'll still be watching it. Watching film, watching how a game evolves. And then, as we don't, certain things change, but a lot of things, remain pretty much the same.
Same shit, different day. Are you blocking, tackling, throwing, catching,
kicking,
fundamentals,
tapping out,
clock management? Well,
Not anymore.
You don't see that anymore.
Nuh-uh.
We had never seen it before. I do wonder if like Roger Goodell and like the football powers that be called over. Like, hey, we can't have that become a precedent at the quarterback position. We're paying $60 million to these quarterbacks. Okay, there has to be some things that have to remain. If these quarterbacks want to tap out, you're going to have to bench them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it is. For the good of football.
Could be in the bylaws.
I wonder how much Jim Irsay, former power lifter. Remember that. People forget. Former like bodybuilder, power lifter, strides himself on. I was in the locker room picking up jocks and socks and everything like that. And then his guy is the guy that's like, I'm too tired. Think about like he gets very passionate during the games. I would like to know what his first reaction was whenever he heard that. Now, he's obviously had a full-on rethought in how he will say it and deliver it. But his first reaction, I assume, was like, what are we doing?
Holy fuck.
This can't. And once again, to all those Colts fans that were very mad at me yesterday, it's like this is a part of football I think you all just learned.
Mm-hmm. They'll probably still be mad at you. They'll probably blame you for him being benched, actually.
Good. If I got that much power, then I do know ball. So you should listen to what I'm saying. If the Colts are listening to what I'm saying, then maybe you should take me a little bit more serious when I'm talking. But they don't, and they are not. So I'm just pointing out something that maybe you didn't know because you didn't play ball. This is just a reality of a situation. Mm-hmm. And we said this earlier, and I don't know if you were on, AJ, or not. I think it was when you first got on. But, like, Steelers quarterback, Eagles quarterback. Like, imagine any of those cities' quarterbacks doing that and the reaction, what it would be. Imagine what it would be. It would be insanity.
All right, Pittsburgh. Can you imagine the Pittsburgh reaction?
They would boycott the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They would potentially boycott the field the next time. Mike Tomlin needs to come out and say something.
Yeah.
This is a Mike Tomlin issue. His culture. Look at his culture. Oh, my God.
Start hating everybody.
I can't even wrap my head around it because that's not a thing.
Like high school.
No,
I'm saying like even like high school. Like if your
not.
high school quarterback is like, hey, you need
If anybody taps out in high school,
you play
you're
both
cut.
ways. Yeah, you play both ways in
Any
high
position.
school. Like play safety, play quarterback, third and goal. Hey, coach, need one here. Can you run that quarterback trap with Danny?
Yeah.
Like, and then after the game, like tapping out was bad, but after the game, not having the awareness to know like that's not okay. Like, oh, I'm gonna be real with you. I was tired. Like, nah, bro.
I would assume the PR department, once again, I do not know, but I do know the PR department. I assume they didn't just send them out there.
Probably not.
Yeah, I assume there was at least
Definitely not.
I assume there was a little bit of a, hey, here's the report, out of breath. Here's some answers potentially to get around it. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah, lost my win.
I ain't gonna lie to him.
I ain't gonna lie. Listen,
I mean, you got to give him credit, I guess, for not lying.
I agree. That is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
The bigger issue is that it's not the lie. Like the fact that the truth is he wanted off the field at any moment because he was just tired. It's like, that can't be the guy we run out of the tunnel behind. That can't be, right? That's not the guy.
And now they're not.
And that's what the Colts said too.
Yeah.
But once again, learning point.
Learning.
Pivot from this.
Now we know.
Watch Joey Flack. Maybe put a package in.
Sure.
Couple packages. So he's active, a part of it. Show the day-to-day. Here's the investment it takes to be a quarterback. This guy's 40 years old, been able to do it a long time. Maybe go in his back pocket. Maybe try to figure out how you survive this, how you are an NFL quarterback for this long, and have the success that you have. Because he got a $100 million contract like 10 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, so if that's what you're looking for, first contract, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, especially number 4 overall pick. Second contract, cooler. Much cooler.
Way cooler.
Third contract, what we're looking for, okay? The biggest. If you really want to change everything in your life, in every work your ass off. You have been given an opportunity because of how talented you are to change everything in your being forever. You just got to work for it. Just go do it. And now we get a chance to watch Joe Flacco. I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Very good thing. And I think, once again, in the long term, very, very young and not the same, but kind of in the similar vein of what's going on in Pittsburgh. Like, you got a young, talented quarterback with Justin Fields. He went out there and played, obviously, put his team in a good situation. Now you put Russ in there. Once again, ideally, from the fan standpoint, you want the younger guy who has a lot more tread on his tire.
Similar
but you know, Russ can definitely get in there and win. He's won a Super Bowl before. He's been paid. He's been that guy, been the face of the franchise for a long time. So now you sit and learn. And it's a long, 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 long road ahead, hopefully, for Anthony Richardson.
I hope so. I hope he takes it in stride. I hope everybody goes because this team can win. And all of a sudden, I get real excited again. Like the Jets had a bad situation. They fired Coach Saleh. All of a sudden, Jets fans get excited.
Yeah.
They have another loss. They're in a bad spot.
Tough one.
They bring in Devontae. They get excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for Colts fans, it's like, okay. I think some people think maybe we win that game against Houston this past weekend. Houston's going, who they are, who they think they are. If we win a couple games here, and all of a sudden we got to figure it out, let's go football, baby.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor looks fast again.
He does. Dahns looks fantastic.
He's making amazing.
I assume
Pierce is all over the place. Pittman obviously battling through an injury. I don't even know if he's cleared. He's been cleared. Remember, he was supposed to go on IR a couple
Yeah.
He's playing his
I'll
ass
play.
off.
Good for him, man. They said he was in huge pain.
Back. Yeah, still.
Yeah,
the
like back. Anyone knows your back pain is the worst situation ever. The second you wake up, you feel it the rest of the day.
And it doesn't stop. Like, that's not something that just, like, in the middle of
Actually,
the season.
no. You never actually, when you're sleeping, too. It affects your sleep. It affects everything.
Yeah. So in the middle of the season, he's having to deal with something that never stops hurting. And it's not like they have it all figured out with the back either. Like, you put some stim on it, but where it's hard to just fix that. So he's battling through, and it's like the defense got defo. Let's get to a break. On the other side, we got Carl Ravitch because baseball's happening.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
Not good.
Oh, for who?
Good. Not good at all.
For
the
who?
Yankees. Yeah, not good.
Going great for Shohei, ain't it? Shohei.
Well, not really, but
It's about to win a World Series.
Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman. It's gangbusters, and the rest of that lineup too. Fucking guys nobody's ever heard of who are just killing the Yankees.
Are you okay, dude? It's a good time of year.
No,
It's the
I'll be
World
honest.
Series.
No, like
Yankees are in the World Series. What the fuck? This is good time.
yeah, no heart. No fight.
Oh my God. What?
The Yankees?
I'm just, you put NFL's one thing, okay? Because like there's one game a week. You know, you lose that one, you don't make the playoffs. That's one thing. Do you have any idea how much fucking time and energy I've put into this baseball team this year and every year? We're talking 6 fucking months watching 160 plus games to get to where they haven't been in 15 years. Okay? Where they should be damn near every year, or should compete for it every year.
And then what?
And then to get there and score the most runs in the AL leading up to it, and just fucking completely choke and drop the ball and not look like the same team at all, not be competitive at all. I mean, it fucking bums me out like you would not believe.
Talk to Carl Ravitch on the other side about all of that and more. Sorry, Ty, man. Jeez, it's World Series. You're supposed to be happy.
I thought when Fat Joe walked out there.
Fuck Fat Joe.
Whoa, what?
Fuck that fat motherfucker.
No! Fat Joe created a lot. Lean back.
Yeah.
Lean back.
Get off the fucking
Lean
mound
back.
in your goddamn Timbs.
Lean back. I thought he looked cool.
No.
Breaking news out of the NFL. Let's turn the music off. Deontay Johnson has been traded, not to the Texans, no. Not to the Chiefs, no. To the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, wow.
This Baltimore Ravens offense,
oh boy.
You start adding pieces to it. Oh boy is right. This was the oh boy.
It must have been.
And I think the oh boy was potentially because he knows that Stefon Diggs and Pittsburgh Steelers fans who have been in the market for a wide receiver for a long time are not going to be necessarily thrilled by the fact that another weapon who used to be in your team is going to the Baltimore Ravens, who seemingly have a cheat code on their offense, and a running back that is found a fountain of youth and a stamina that has been so dominant he scores every single game. Lamar Jackson is playing better than he's ever played. Couple tight ends. They already have an explosive wide receiver. Bring in another gadget for that offense to cook with. Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Stefon Diggs. Deontay Johnson comes back to the AFC North. How do you feel about it?
At least this wide receiver we weren't allowed to be in the running for, because you can't trade a guy and then trade back for him in the same season or maybe 2 seasons, whatever it is. What?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
We could not have got Deontay back. So at least that helps a little bit. And what also helps a Steelers fan from Steelers perspective is the offense wasn't their issue. Okay, they were one of the best. They are probably the best offense, with the Lions' best offenses in the league. And he doesn't play corner, so it's all right.
You're talking about the Ravens, obviously.
Yeah.
The secondary help, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the stats are saying that the Baltimore defense can give stuff up, and especially late.
I love it, though.
But I like that they're still making moves over there. That's an organization saying, hey, we're making moves. You're the buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. We still have a week. Ravens making another big-time play. I love it for Lamar.
I mean, it's terrible for the rest of the league because now you got another weapon for him, and it's not like a young guy who's trying to figure out how to play on this level. Deontay Johnson's Tone just talked about him a few minutes ago. He can run all the routes. He can make contested catches. You know Zay is going to be, the premier guy out there week to week if he's healthy. Bateman is coming along, made some big plays as well. Likely, all these guys, and you talked about the big dogs in the back. So, I mean, another big weapon for them.
Is that a situation where it's like, he's performed well against them? Like, they've faced him 2 times for the last 4 years.
This guy's so fucking good.
Yeah.
If we ever get a chance to get this guy, let's go ahead and get this guy. Somebody on a headset after Deontay Johnson makes a play. Hey, if this guy's ever available, let's try to get him here. Then Schefter yesterday makes an announcement. Hey, he's very available for a trade, which will lead Zadarius Smith, I believe, the other player that Schefter announced yesterday is available to be traded. Is he heading up to Detroit? It's been an active Tuesday here. We'll get to a break on the other side. Carl Ravitch will join us to talk about the optimism in New York and the championship that's potentially flying to Los Angeles as we speak. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life, like Dude Wipes. Take 5.
Tonight is a night where everything's going to be remembered. Every play, every sweat, every fight.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon. Know as a child back in the womb.
Hey, let's have a national championship Monday, huh? My name's Pat McAfee. I've started this show 2 different occasions already. This will be the 3rd. Wow. It's 2023. We eat adversity for lunch. There's just so many different forms of gummies coming in my mouth.
Boss man, can you do a kickflip?
100 for it. 100 for it. Oh! Come on, bro. That was awesome. Hey, this little teddy bear is cool. This all around sweet. All right, I feel pretty good for this ESPN party. Let's go have a blast in there. Boom. Need you to do a red carpet. I've never done a red carpet before.
I got to poop, sorry.
I don't know if now's the time.
We're invited to the ESPN party, and now we are all sitting on a red carpet. We had no idea this was coming, obviously. We thought we were just getting some free drinks.
A lot of people on the internet say I look tired. What's that all about? I'm a massive fan of Posner. He was getting motivational speeches in between songs. He was playing other people's songs. He was telling people to stay down. We're going to make a moment. Only on the count of 3, we're going to go crazy. Oh, I know. Sad song. Sad song. Oh, yeah.
A couple of these. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Who's up? What do you want?
What'd you do?
Gotta make it back again, baby. It's gotta last until 9 o'clock.
Happy birthday, sack of shit.
I'm so fired up to be here. I got a necktie and everything.
Holy shit. Tim Tebow's here. Oh my God.
Look at that cut.
The most handsome shot in our show's history. Nick Saban has been spotted at SoFi. Great work in the back, Fox. These boys crushed it. Now we got game day, then the mega cast. Let's go. Hey, let's have a night. Obviously, the enemy of great is good. The enemy of a dynasty is winning one championship and letting it go. Fran, you're obviously going to Colorado, a place that's been looking for some sort of championship for 20 years. You're also one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. What are you saying to your team?
You can't get here and all of a sudden change. You don't want to see a different mannerism of somebody, and especially the coaches. See, everybody's talking about the players. But you got to coach the coaches too.
Did you smile there too? Were you smiling?
I saw a smile. I do that every now and then.
The rat poison, smiling. That's embedded fourth quarter perfection. Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter perfection. Big moments, Tebow perfection. We got some real magic here tonight, don't we? I love that toad that takes those mushrooms and hitting her. With that being said, Stetson Bennett's 25 years old. He's so damn comfortable. Darnell Washington's the backup tight end. He's 6'7", 270. Brock Bowers, best player on the field. The defense full of dogs. Give it to Georgia Bulldogs to go back-to-back. First time since his man and his Alabama squad. I love the Bulldogs tonight, barking all over the place, Coach. All right, here we go, huh? A little bit of rush from old game day down the field. We went all the way to the roots to come back. We are so sorry. All right, let's roll. I gotta get to the sleep, and then I'm gonna hop over the sleep thing. Good, Brad. You are looking at SoFi Stadium, where we'll be crowning a national champion for our college football season tonight. And the Dogs are on the board early. Wide open. That's the shot that they wanted, baby. Oh, Stetson Bennett with his second touchdown in the first half. Pick. Oh, no. Georgia's first down. One-handed touchdown. Brock Bowers, touchdown. It is currently 45-7. It is 52-7. Touchdown.
This is just a good old back-home ass whooping.
It's a blowout, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o. That son of a bitch, Uga, is having the night of his life. Wow. It's raining indoors in Los Angeles. This is God taking a tinkle on something magical, isn't it? Let's get that.
Get him on camera.
That mustache.
Holy smoke.
Holy smokes.
Are you a firefighter?
Good for you, bro. Thanks for your service. First down, Horned Frogs on a 2nd and 3. Why don't we call a game? Holy hell, Tim Tebow is coming. Tebow, we're live.
We're on.
We're live right now. Welcome back to SoFi Stadium. Right before the break, an extra point almost killed Tim Tebow. Natural instincts had to take in place. I could not lose the greatest human on earth, and I'm happy they gave you that ball, Tim. Tone, act like you're Sonny Dykes, please.
All right, boss. First half didn't go our way. We're doing this for the great state of Texas. You know who else was down 31 points?
Who's that?
The Italians.
All right. Let's take the tractor another round. What are you watching out there, Coach?
Honestly, they're better off grabbing Luke the Doncic out of the crowd and maybe lining him up next to Quentin Johnson at receiver. Because they can't do a damn thing.
We decided Tebow here, formerly known as praying for this TCU team to do something. So you put your hands up, play that song, butterflies fly away. Thank you for your service, sir. You're a badass, man.
Those other Americans, I wouldn't be here.
What a run, huh? The boys crushed it. Appreciate you.
TCU sucks.
He's a mean all the time.
What?
That's all she wrote for college football season. What a year. Let's fucking get home.
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt. Gives Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Welcome to Dublin Island on this Feel Good Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We are live from J.R. Mahin's.
Drinks are on Pat McAfee tonight, fella. Let's go!
Hop, 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 hop. The fact that anybody knows we exist in Ireland, we are so incredibly thankful. So to all of you, we say, Gotcha!
State. I just want Kirk to know I got 1,000 phone calls when we got in the playoffs. He didn't have anything to do with them not getting in the playoffs, and I didn't either. But we both got hammered.
Some of us did get hammered in it last night. We have real football happening today for the first time in months. This is a beautiful time in a wonderful town.
It's fight night, baby!
Travis is his name.
We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go. I would be that fuck in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech. 44 yards away to do it. He got it! And the Yellow Jackets did it!
Hey,
Why?
let's go! This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this huge news in Sports Tuesday, October 29, 2024. Our 3 starts now. Football is obviously what we chat about most. There's been a lot of moves over the last couple hours. Deontay Johnson traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Baltimore Ravens, the most recent. Congrats to all parties there.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats to the entire AFC North now. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks and Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Whenever the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tony's here. I love the Signetti towel right in front there.
Yeah, thanks for bringing one back for me, boys. As you know, as a Signetti fan, it was something that I was desiring, that I really needed, and I had to display.
You really nailed it. Really showcased how much you wanted that Signetti towel. They have a bunch of them. Study later, Signetti on a marble box. They got like 10 of them all season ready to go.
It was also it was fun to watch. It was kind of like a fast forward video, time lapse, if you will, while you guys were doing the show on Friday, just watching the whole stands fill up with like 50,000 towels. It was kind of crazy.
Also a time lapse somebody did from opening week of this IU football team. There it is. That's opening night, opening day. Okay. To what exactly? And that's a lot for Indiana. That's a lot for Indiana, I think, because the Signetti excitement potentially, and then bang, boom. There's this past weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's a Signetti effect there. You know, you talk about what Coach Prime did out there in Boulder over the last couple years, obviously, being able to build it up and the stadium and money investment and excitement and everything. Signetti's doing the same exact thing down in Bloomington, Indiana. It's a beautiful thing. We're lucky to be a part of it. The towels are awesome. 9-year NFL vet. Host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, coming in a matter of moments. Darius J. Butler.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
Sweet fit today. Very cool fit. You look very cool. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the voices of baseball. And we were supposed to have him on about 50 minutes ago, but so many things happened. Anthony Richardson obviously ends up getting benched for Joe Flacco. Stefon Diggs, it gets officialized that he tore his knee up, tore his ACL. He's going to be out for the rest of the year in a non-contact injury. Then Deontay Johnson gets traded. So we appreciate this man for waiting patiently to talk to us about the championship of all championships in baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Ravitch.
Yeah.
We are sorry. We are sorry, Ravi. That's 100% on us.
Don't worry about it. It's on the Colts. I mean, shit happens. That's what you do. You deal with it.
It's not on the Colts. Colts made a decision. Obviously, those are big-time decisions that I'm happy I don't have to make. But certainly, I think the Colts team and fans know that they can maybe go win a championship right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about championships right now. World Series is happening, and Ty Schmidt, before the break, is a Yankees fan. I mean, that sounded very miserable. And he even said, to hell with Fat Joe, I believe, is what he said. Last night, Fat Joe obviously answers Ice Cube in L.A. Everybody thought it was awesome. Did we know that what was going to happen to the Yankees in New York happened to the Yankees, or did we assume that the Yankees were going to win these ones? What's that?
I think he's
fucking stuffing up the rubber.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He just stepped on the rubber, digging in up there. The boys love it.
Boys love it. Boys are buzzing.
Of course, Jazz loves it.
Why? What are you talking about?
Lock in.
He's so what?
What is your problem?
Good vibes guy.
He was so mad, Rob. I didn't know. Look, he's killing. Lean back.
Hey.
Look at him. Lean back.
Yeah.
Joey Crack, dude. Started the entire thing. He answered Ice Cube.
Yeah. Face in New York.
Yeah.
Did those girls know that? Did they know that song?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, everybody knows Fat Joe's song. Carl, I don't need the negativity. All we need, Ty's good enough. Fat Joe, hey, Joey Crack, thanks for everything you've done.
Keep going, Joe.
Okay.
I used to be Joe now.
My generation. What's that?
Maybe Big Joe now.
Yeah, he does look like he's been working out a little bit, been moving those boots. He's been running up to the mountain. He's been running hills.
Yes. Give him the ball for Game 4. Let's see what he's got.
Okay, so on that note, did we assume that the Yankees were going to win this one at home? And how do we feel about the series right now, Ravi?
I don't think you can make an assumption about anything other than that they're playing like crap. I mean, all of them. And we all focus on Aaron Judge and what he's done. It's not like Ohtani's been killing it either. They each have one hit in this series. The supporting cast has been great. Like, with all due respect to Fat Joe, if Fat Joe showed up there and there was a backup band, it'd be a little bit better. But the backup band for the Yankees hasn't shown up either. And the focus has been on Freddie Freeman and that guy right there, Tommy Edman. Every single Dodger is outplaying every single Yankee. They are better in every aspect of the game so far. They pitch better. They play better defense. They hit the ball. They run the bases. They do everything better than the Yankees do. So no assumption, especially with that guy, Clark Schmidt, unable to find the strike zone. And that run scored right there, Pat, because Tommy Edman decided to steal a base with Ohtani up. He gets into second base. He scores that little bloop base hit by Mookie Betts. All the things that winning teams do, the Dodgers are doing and the Yankees aren't.
How likely is it for a team to come back being down 3-0? Is this over?
It's happened once.
Not good. In the World Series, I think there have been 24 examples of teams being down 0-3. Combined, they've won 3 games total, like 3 overall. So if the Yankees were to force a Game 7, they would have matched what every team in the World Series falling behind 3-0 has done. Not likely, not going to happen. So, no, it's not likely at all.
Okay, Ravi, Ty has some questions for you. I will have you know what you just said is basically how he's been acting all morning as a Yankee fan.
Yeah, Ravi, just curious, you mentioned it. How much of this do you hang on Aaron Judge? Obviously, everyone talks about it, and it's tough for me because obviously you look at his stats. He's batting 91 in the World Series. You know, he's striking out damn near, not even competitive at bats.
.091?
Yeah, correct. He batted, 322. Damn near won the Triple Crown this year in the regular season. And that's why I have a tough time hanging this all on him, because without him, the Yankees win maybe 80 games. And granted, he's just so bad in the postseason. But you mentioned it, and I've been talking with my brothers about this, every single person in the Dodgers lineup, especially the bottom half, they have a competitive at-bat every single time, and it feels like the Yankees, 6 of the 9 people in their batting order are automatic outs every single time they get up. It just doesn't matter. But how much of this ultimately do you hang on Judge?
Well, a bunch of it. I mean, certainly not all of it. In order for Judge to be productive, generally you need guys on in front of him, and when you compare him with Ohtani, these are the 2 MVPs, and neither has done very well in this series. But what the difference is between them, when you look at Judge, he's 1 for 12 with 7 strikeouts. That's a problem. Freddie Freeman, who's a 3-hitter, is 7 RBIs in this postseason. So the 3-hitter, the middle-of-the-order guy, is not producing. Judge is coming off a 2024 season in which he was better than 2022. 2022, 62 homers. His postseason on a batting average of 139. Not good. 2024, an OPS plus. Ask all your researchers, but it's a statistic which measures your on-base plus slugging relative to the Major League Baseball average. He was 33% better than the next guy in baseball. That's how great the regular season was. The next guy in baseball was Shohei Ohtani. Aaron Judge needs to, if the Yankees wanted to win the World Series, Judge had to produce. They can win a game without him, maybe 2. They will not win a World Series without a productive Aaron Judge. The difference between Judge and Ohtani hits leadoff, and he's got a whole bunch of guys, as you mentioned, that are producing behind him. Mookie Betts is having a massive World Series. Tommy Edman is absolutely destroying Anthony Volpe. Volpe, 0 for 4 in Game 1, 0 for 4 Game 2, 1 for 4 third game. Edman is 4 for 11. Volpe's 1 for 12. There's problems everywhere, let alone Clark Schmidt being unable to throw strikes. The Dodgers are taking advantage of runners on base. The Yankees aren't getting runners on base, let alone not taking advantage of them.
Well, I think you mentioned it, the Judge hadn't been producing in the postseason at all, so I think that's why Yankees fans were like, hey, they made it to the World Series. Eventually he'll wake up and they'll be fine. I think that's what gave me especially some confidence going in. But another kind of 2 people that I think you could place blame on. I think a lot of Yankees fans are talking about Aaron Boone going to Nestor Cortez in Game 1, because I think if the Yankees win Game 1, then it's a completely different series. And then also Cashman, because you look at what the Yankees did at the deadline.
Right.
Kopech, Edman, Flaherty, 3 guys the Yankees could have had who needed. They went after Flaherty, didn't like his medical, backed out of that trade. He goes to the Dodgers. Right. Same thing with Edman and then Kopech. They needed bullpen help for, Loizaga got hurt in the first week of the season. They've needed bullpen help. How much of the blame do you think those guys will shoulder? And, I just, as a Yankees fan, the thing that worries me the most is Soto's had this career year. He's looked unbelievable. And if they end up not winning a World Series this year, it's no foregone conclusion that they're going to re-sign him. So what do you think's going through Brian Cashman's head right now?
Yeah, I think it's I think he's worried. I think when Soto hit that home run in the LCS and he could have came out of his luxury suite and kind of looked up and said, "Thank God," that was a sign that this was the value of him. Your point is really well made. Verdugo versus Teoscar Hernandez, advantage Dodgers. Stroman versus Flaherty, advantage Dodgers. Yamamoto, the Yankees had a chance to get Yamamoto, $325 million, and the Pacific Ocean. Apparently that was enough to convince Brian Cashman, we got to compete against that. We're not going to win that battle. I think there's a whole bunch of accountability, responsibility. They haven't won a World Series since 2009. That's a problem for that team that has become so used to winning World Series, 27 of them. So at some point, you do have to wonder when does that part get shifted out? And so does one man. And you guys all know this. In this sport, one man hardly makes a difference. As good as he's been, you can't rely on him. You can't rely on Judge, but you need to depend on them as long as other people are helping out.
Everybody needs to show up in baseball, it seems like. That's why Shohei and Mike Trout were in the purgatory that they were with the Angels. Now Shohei goes to the Dodgers. First year, he's in the World Series, about to win it all. Freddie Freeman, what he's doing, historic, they're saying, I guess. What is the record right now?
Yeah, he's hit a home run in 5 consecutive World Series games because he hit 2 in the last 2 games of the 2021 series. So he's tied with George Springer for 5 in a row. If he hits one tonight, he'll set the record for most consecutive games with a homer in the World Series.
And he's what, greatest dude on earth, too? Every interview he gives, I'm like, I love this guy, Ravi.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's gone through a whole bunch of stuff with his son off the field and Guillain-Barré syndrome, and it was really bad. There was a time late in this season, early in the postseason, where Freddie Freeman would have preferred to be anywhere but on a baseball field to be with his family and be with his son, who was ailing while his wife was taking care of the kid. The kid's doing great. Kid's back home. Freeman gets those days off. Gets as much as the ankle recovered, which is critical. I think his heart recovered. I think his head recovered. I think he realized things were going to be okay. And this is as a professional hitter. We talk about professional hitters. This is a professional hitter in baseball. He's been doing it since he was a kid. He certainly has done it with the Braves. That's why this record continues. And tonight he could break it. But Freddie Freeman doesn't strike out. You know, you talk about these 3-hole hitters. Aaron Judge, again, no homers, 7 strikeouts. Freddie Freeman, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. He feels good about the way life is off the field. He's killing it on the field.
Go ahead, AJ.
Robbie, so what happens? Do you think the Dodgers, do they close this thing out tonight, or do they let the Yankees hang around a little bit?
Do it at home.
No, yeah.
It's back to back, right?
3-2.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they have 2 chances to the Dodgers to do it on the road. Look, there's no indication this is going to be extended. The Yankees haven't hit. The bullpen concept sort of lets people think this should be an easy one for the Yankees. Bullpens, because they're so damn good right now, make nothing easy for the opponent, the offense. Until Aaron Judge starts to drive the ball to right center and over the wall to those bleacher creatures, I have no reason to believe they're going to win this game. And Luis Gil, who's on the mound, is a rookie starting in a World Series game in a must-win game. He doesn't throw enough strikes. He doesn't get enough chase historically. One start against the Dodgers was okay, but there's a whole bunch of pressure on him tonight. Yeah, I think it ends tonight.
Speaking of that, Ravi, do you think that, kind of just kicking it around, is there any chance? I mean, I know Gil is supposed to go tonight, and I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't know if you want to extend this series, I don't know if you can put him out there despite how good he's been this year. Is there any way that they maybe turn to Cole on short rest, just thinking like we have to win a game tonight? They have to win, and obviously
no. Boone said no. I mean, I understand you got to win tonight, but he said no, he won't do that. And again, you run out a Cole on short rest who's compromised, and after 3 innings, let's just say it's 1-0 New York or 0-0. You're going to have to get Cole out of the game. This is not 10 years ago when Bumgarner came out of the bullpen and gave you 5 innings against the Royals to win a World Series. That's 10 years ago, 5 innings out of the bullpen because he's not built like anybody else. There's no way Cole appears in this game.
Okay, here's some stats from Hembo. You tell me how vital or how normal these stats are to talk about. The Dodgers have outscored the Yankees 7-1 in innings 1 through 3 this series. That has enabled them to dictate terms. Pitches thrown whenever leading. Dodgers 301 pitches, Yankees 55. What does that mean? Obviously, early wood is good news for a team. And what does it make the other team do? For instance, in football, if you get the lead, the other team has to pass normally is kind of the goal. So your defensive ends can, kind of go get it. What is the mentality of when you're in the lead early versus not in the lead, especially in a World Series game?
Well, in this case, in this World Series, every team that has gotten the lead first has won the game. Postseason, historically, you score first, you tend to be in the driver's seat. That's happened, obviously, in this series. The other thing it does, and you know this, it doesn't matter what sport you're in. The Yankees, the ballpark was electric, with all jokes about Fat Joe. The place was electric last night, and the way that you unplug the electricity is you score first. So when you neutralize that crowd, and every time a base runner got on, there was this realization like, oh, God, it's not going to work. And it didn't work. And the Dodgers have been able to make it work. And they they're creating things. So getting a lead is an enormous advantage. But again, now that you're talking about must win, in a sense, it doesn't matter. Like, we got to throw everybody out there, with the exception, I think, of Garrett Cole and, of course, the starter last night. The other part of this that we didn't even talk about is the idea that the starting pitching, which was supposed to be a bit of a advantage for the Yankees, has absolutely been a complete advantage for the Dodgers. Like, Walker Buehler looked like Vanderbilt Walker Buehler. He was that good. Yamamoto looked like the guy that was worth $325 million. Again, they're peaking right now while the Yankees are playing about as poorly as they have almost all year.
Obviously, the Dodgers win a World Series. You'd say any contract with Shohei and everybody's worth it. But, like, obviously, this is what it's all about. And the numbers in Japan, are they still gigantic for these games?
Off the charts. Look, I'm not a huge social media guy. You're about as good as anybody on that I've ever seen.
Thank you.
But when Dave Roberts told me that Shohei Ohtani was good to go, 2 million people viewed that. That's Japan. I mean, 2 million people. That doesn't happen. So that shows you how huge he is worldwide, and certainly how big it is in Japan. Yeah, they have watch parties over there. They're going to start the Major League Baseball season in Japan next year. I need McAfee. If you're going to Dublin, you may as well go to Japan for the start of the baseball season.
I love the country of Japan. Been there before. It is very nice, very awesome. And Shohei will be electrifying. Maybe we do go over there. Oh, wow.
Good idea, Carl.
Not a bad idea, especially that gets us involved in baseball early in the season.
Sure.
Then obviously we'll track it. If we get Paul Skeens versus Shohei over there, I mean, consider it booked.
Yeah,
We're on our way. We can't thank you enough. Shohei, biggest star in the game right now, obviously, in the world. Wins World Baseball Classic, right?
Yeah.
Now, about to win the World Series. Freddie Freeman obviously going to win the MVP if they end up winning it, but that's good for baseball, I think, as a whole. I think that's good for baseball. You agree? You think everything's been good for baseball?
It's killed. The only thing that sucks for baseball right now is a 3-0 World Series in a series we all hope would go 6 or 7 games. The other part of that, to your point, it would have been nice if they kind of just kept in their back pocket that Ohtani was unavailable to pitch. We could have got to a game 6 or 7, and maybe there was the threat that he was going to come out of the bullpen, because we've seen him since the middle of the summer throwing seeds in the bullpen, and you're like, yeah, maybe, why not? Why wouldn't we want to see that? But they sold the horse out of the barn there.
Well, maybe. Hold on. Yankees get hot tonight. Okay, Fat Joe comes back. Yeah, they start running in this entire thing. It gets to 3-3. Oh, whoa. We got to slow the momentum down. What are we going to do? Oh, mama, me all my life from the long arm of the law. You know what that long arm of the law is? Shohei Ohtani coming out there. I mean, that would be electric. Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Ravi. Congrats on another great baseball season.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You too, ladies and gentlemen. Carl Rav.
Yeah, Carl.
I don't know if you heard while that conversation was happening, we had another power surge. It sounded like 2 bombs went off.
Yeah,
we don't know what is blowing up. There was a bomb sound over here. There was another one over here. I think there was one in the back. I'm excited to learn about all of that. But with that being said, we lost our screen.
Yeah.
We lost our screen.
No.
So we cannot do everything DB, good D, bad D. We will push that to tomorrow. That's a tease.
Okay.
All right, tonight we got the World Series game.
Correct.
We got hockey tonight. Nick, is there any hockey?
Yeah, a lot of hockey.
Okay, and we got basketball happening?
NBA on TNT tonight, yep.
Okay.
Couple college football games as well.
Okay.
The Raging Cajun.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Former home Billy Napier.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
I
Might be going back.
Yeah.
Who's on TNT? You know? Basketball.
I'm not sure tonight.
I don't know, but they're swinging a hot, that show. I mean, they've been swinging a hot bat for the
30 years.
Yeah, but
last year, it's been, I've heard some good one.
what are they going to do, fire us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? It's like...
Chuck said that, yeah.
Last Dance.
It's
That's awesome.
Mavs T-Wolves, so Ant, Luka, and Pelicans Warriors, Zion.
Okay, so we need to watch Inside the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really... The clips, at least, have been really good.
For sure.
All right, I'm a fan of the program. Can't wait to watch it. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to figure out this power issue, though. We'll let you know.
It's weird.
Shout out to whatever power system was rolling that kept us live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one's working.
Yep.
We need every other one to get like that one.
Get on the team.
And when that happens, we'll be A-OK. Nonetheless, we're back tomorrow. AJ, you worried about Ohio State this week? It sounded like you were a little worried. You were kind of mumbling.
No, I never did. Now you heard me. You heard me loud and clear. I'm not worried. No. I mean, obviously, excited for the boys. Great opportunity. I agree.
It says the fourth top 5 matchup of the year already? Third.
Yeah.
Every week we get awesome matchups.
Dude, college ball, bro.
It's great.
Doing it.
Yeah, Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Georgia.
Now this fourth top 5 matchup of the season.
On
realignment, everything happening.
Scheduling.
It's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
Not that this one obviously is a Big Ten game, but it is working. It is. I don't know what the offseason conversation is going to look like this upcoming year after a college football playoff and the biggest numbers that they've had in a long time for the whole sport. Last year was all doom and gloom. It's over. Remember there was an essay that was written by somebody that said, "We'll still watch, I guess." Remember?
I do remember.
Like, that was I forget who it was. Who was it? Was
Wright Thompson.
Wright Thompson wrote an essay about college football, and the way he broke it down, at least how I heard it, and I don't know how everybody else heard it, but the way I heard it was like, they're kind of taking away everything that we fucking loved about this sport, but I guess we'll still watch it. And then just like moved on. I'm like, God damn, that's pretty depressing. I hope that's not the case. I hope they don't take away everything that everybody loves, because what college football and the college football community has done for that sport, all the tradition, the amount of investment and loyalty and passion into college ball, if they did fumble that bag with the new rules with NIL and realignment and everything, that would be one of the biggest mishaps and fuck-ups in the history of sports. Instead, it feels like passion and pageantry is still very much there. Tradition still very much alive. Big-time matchups almost bringing them and spotlighting them even more than they ever have in the past. College ball, even though it's chaos with some of the rules and what's allowed to happen, what's not allowed to happen, hopefully that gets figured out. The quality of the product of the sport is great. So I hope we continue to ride that wave. Legitimately. Hope we continue to ride that wave, college ball. And the
as long as the play on the field is so high level and we get these matchups, like how could you? Hopefully you can't mess that up.
Yeah, but the fans are a big part of the program in college.
Yeah, but if your teams are good, if you know the Blue Bloods stay the Blue Bloods, and we have these teams like Indiana keep coming up and all of a sudden becoming studs, like we're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine.
I love what Elko's doing down there.
Yeah, it's incredible. Colorado doing actually living up to it.
Already
awesome.
bowl eligible.
Yeah, they could be a 12-team playoff team.
Yeah.
Very,
for sure,
very much
definitely.
so.
Iowa State.
The champions making it like so much hope for everybody.
Yeah.
Is there a path to a championship here? Yes, we're still.
Yep.
We have a shot. As soon as that gets, it's like, all right, now we got a politic to become. We got to start winning games, so it looks like we're at least one of the top 15.
So it's like in every league, like ACC, Miami, Clemson, Pitt, SMU, they're all still alive. Big 12 has like 6 teams still alive. SEC, Big 10, they all have at least 4 or 5 teams still alive. Like it's this point in the year, that's unheard of.
All right, college ball showing up. NFL is as well. We'll be back tomorrow. We got to figure out we got a big power problem.
Yeah, we do.
Gonna fix it.
A couple Transformers are dead, probably.
Dude, that was a loud boom.
Yeah, a couple of them.
It brought the boom. That's what it do. It brought the boom. Not just one, but two. Dead. Right over there. I can't. Let's go watch that clip. Jimmy Fallon and the Big Roscoe.
I'm excited for you guys
I gotta
to
check
watch
it out.
I'm excited for
Send
you
it
guys
to
to
me.
see the whole thing.
All right, we're back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life, like our friends at Dude Wipes. Dumpkin Spice, real deal.
Oh, yeah.
You want your butthole to smell good and feel good?
Yeah.
After you take a massive shit?
Yeah.
Dumpkin Spice. Only available at Target. It's for the fall season. You drink a lot of coffee, aren't you?
Always.
Oh yeah.
Warm coffee. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the steam coming off the top of it. But you know what that's going to do? It's going to create a steamer in it.
Yeah.
Like a warm beer.
No. Very different. I mean, warm beer would create a steamer, I think.
Detroiters. First episode.
Oh, yeah. Detroiters a good show.
Yeah, it is.
It's, I think you should leave, but with like
The
just
plot.
a plot.
Yeah.
New scene, new skit. Let's get to the next scene, next skit. Tim Robinson's brain firing on 1,000. And that's his guy. That's his friend.
Yeah, Sam Richardson, yeah.
Is he have a similar, is he writing with, like, I don't know
I believe
how.
so. I think they created the show together.
I think
yeah.
he wrote for Veep too, right? Or no?
He's been
Or
in
is
he
just
might
on
have.
Veep?
Yeah. He was in Ted Lasso.
He was in
Veep.
Veep.
Yes.
He was also in the after party murder thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
What was that?
I think is it the after party? I think so.
On Apple TV, I think it's called
Yeah.
After Party.
Yeah, okay. The murder thing.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
First season. I didn't see the second season. I think.
Second season wasn't as good, but still pretty good.
I like any murder mystery. I feel like I figure it out so early, though.
Sure.
They got a new one on Netflix. But it's the Zodiac. It's not a.
Oh, so we know the answer.
Yeah, it's not a show.
There's that one guy.
Are we catching all the killers out there? Feels like we
I
should.
hope so.
Not
These
quick enough.
So many cameras now.
That's right.
Everywhere.
Yeah, how do you get away with anything?
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
well,
That's
people
what you
do.
learn from Dateline. You watch Dateline. It's like, oh, everything is filmed.
And your phone, don't have a phone on you, that's for sure.
There always is.
If you have power, which is what we can figure out.
Power.
All right, we're in this thing together. Never forget it. Oh. There's a GoFundMe link to help out some homeless veterans here in Indianapolis, Indiana, that Wish for Our Heroes put together. Wish for Our Heroes is a foundation that I worked with a lot here in Indiana. I don't know if it was founded here or in San Antonio, but they literally help with like the day-to-day items for veterans. I've been a part of some missions alongside of them to help out vets, whether it's just like paying for groceries or gas or heating bills or something like that. Very hands-on approach. They have assembled and pieced together a plan to help this HVAF, which is a homeless veteran shelter here in downtown Indianapolis that burnt down this past weekend. 50 plus homeless vets left without shelter heading into the winter months. So Wish for Our Heroes enacted a GoFundMe link, and also I believe other people around the city. I think Black Rifle Coffee has already donated $10,000. I think the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is getting involved to try to help this out, to help out everything. And I'll be matching donations up to $250,000. If you go on X, you can see the Wish for Our Heroes. Wish, the number 4, the letter R, and then Heroes. They have the GoFundMe linked everywhere there. Winter months happening. We should let our country's heroes know that we got their back, especially here in Indianapolis. If you're able. If you're not able to, look out for yourself. Listen, this is not a... I understand completely if you're not able to, but if you are, here's a good place to potentially help out some heroes here in Indianapolis. And shout out to the Wish for Our Heroes people. They've been good people to society for a long time. I did a lot of work with them, man. It was really cool to watch them. In the weeds, we're talking like going and meeting vets, seeing vets, going through stuff, PTSD stuff. Here we go. Hey, this person can't afford their own food, but they have too much pride to tell anybody. So their friend has to report it. Then Wish for Our Heroes has to be able to basically get in. Some people not even letting them in. Like you bring like diapers for babies and stuff for some of these vets who are on hard times. And it's like they have so much pride. They're like, no, I'm good. And it's like Wish for Our Heroes with their credibility. Who's been in there? Sergeant. They got a lot of people. It's all vets that work in there. And them having like those real conversations. Like, hey, it's all right. Like this is, I was a part of that with them a lot. And it was a life changer. They also took me down to Camp Pendleton, and I got my ass beat hand-to-hand combat.
Sure.
Nice. That was fun.
That'll happen.
Everybody laughed.
Went defeated.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I went down to shake somebody's hand, and all of a sudden, bang, pow, bomb, I'm terrorist.
Steven Seagal on you. Huh?
Yeah.
Boom, bang, pow, I'm down on my head.
Yep.
What the hell just happened? I didn't do anything. Well, that's what you got to do. You know, you never know what they have. It's like, absolutely. And somebody else I thought was ever going for a dap up. Nope, we're fucking judo tossing.
Oh, jeez.
Boom,
Can't trust
bang.
anybody.
God, what are we doing?
You can't trust anything. Yeah.
What are we doing here? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you got to bring Jay with you next time. You got to bring him with you.
That's good shit, though, man. Matching up 250, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope, you know, and obviously you can't make everybody happy. There's people that are like, why don't you just donate? It's like, probably end up will, but this is just like a call. Like, hey, we can kind of do this thing together to help people out. And if you're able, would certainly love you to help out our city and our vets. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We're in this thing together. Let's never forget that, especially with trade deadline 1 week away.
Yeah, legit.
We're in this thing together, okay? Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye, it's coming back.